What? What? We are live, Chocks. We are live.
Why, I haven't shared that in the club yet.
I know, clearly, is not being shared yet. 30 seconds ago. Do you think people are going to notice, Chocks, that we are 8 minutes late?
No.
No, we're always on time. Welcome to the FRF time. That's what is up. Neo D in the house.
Always has been and always will.
It's been a particularly drama sort of induced week this time, I would say. As always, Chocks. But then again, isn't it always? Isn't it always? Isn't it just? Yeah. We're gonna move it across. We're gonna start recording all that sort of stuff. What the hell is that?
It's a new flavour.
Okay.
You shoved it in the club yet?
No, not none of that. We're gonna start recording first, at least. You can do all that. Start recording. Crack that open. Boom! What is up, guys? This is Alex from First with Figures.
Hey there, everyone. This is Chockles.
Welcome to Friday Q&A with Chocks in 121. It is, of course, the 31st of May 2019, the last day of the month, Chocks. Unbelievable. How do we get here so quickly? How you guys been? Good morning, America. Good afternoon, EU. Good evening, Asia. What is going on in Australia? You should be sleeping. Tell us all, how have you been? What have you been up to? We want to know it all this week.
The last day of the month.
Easy. Easy.
You can say
it
that.
Was literally...
And then we're like, the first, and then once it's past midnight.
The 8th day of the month. That is true. That is true. That is true.
Right, let's do the lame stuff first. Share that in
the law. I can't wait to shake your hand, mate. I love it. You're the catalyst to allow everything to flow out in a good way. Howard V, is your birthday tomorrow? That will be the 1st of June. My son's birthday is the 2nd. The 2nd. So happy birthday. Make sure you put your birthday in your FRF account to get those sweet 1,000 reward points. Howard V, did you get your reward points last year? Because it's been in place for over a year now, Chocks. There's some people who've had it two times. I remember we implemented the reward points in April of 2018. And therefore, we now have those greedy guys who, on the day that we went live, happened to be their birthday, right?
Yeah. So they're kind of like, oh, I've just lost a year.
Right? And now, it's been a year.
Right.
And now they've snagged their 2nd.
But they'll always think back and say, I still lost.
No. I'm saying, the greedy people who, the day that we launched this, all of a sudden, it's their birthday. Oh, how surprising, Chocks. Yeah. They didn't lose anything. They gained a lot of stuff. They gained their time. Devon, is also your birthday tomorrow as well? Or are you Howard V on YouTube? Is that what's going on over there? What's going on, Nana? Oh, GVG, that's a while back. Did you ever complete your course in coding and all that good stuff? I know that's what you were doing. And I remember you rewarded yourself with an Artorias and then you sold it. Well, we're not going to talk about that. But that's what I remember, GVG. It's been a while. Yes, we're still here. We're still going strong. It's 121 of the Friday Q&As. That's a long ass time. Chocks, how many of those 121 Q&As have you seen?
Have I seen?
Yeah, how many of you sort of seen or, been a part of? I mean, how many have you seen? 121, right?
And the rest?
Yeah. Me too. Is there anybody else out there that has been there from number 1? Don't pretend. Do you think there's anybody, Chocks? No. Apart from you and me? No. There isn't, is there?
No.
There's surely. I mean, it used to be Michael Lai, but who? He's out saving sea elephants now.
Yeah.
He's too busy doing that and then seeing this. I love you guys, but you can't watch 3 hours of this every week. I know, because I have a pinging system. You don't know about this. I have a pinging system. As soon as I know that you're offline, That's what we do. That's what's going on. Rafael, you got your SD select. Tell me. Is it okay? Actually, don't tell me if it's not. Only tell me if it's okay. Oh,
If it's not okay, you tell CS.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yoshi-chan, that's a good point. Let me write that in. I'm going to do the countdown for that ASAP so everyone knows what's going on with regards to all the information on the Artorias bus. Because as we know, Chocks, it's coming up very, very soon.
Very soon.
So let me get that rocking and rolling.
Just wait until everyone comes into the stream.
Oh, there's already 84 people, Chocks. That's quite a lot. I feel a bit of pressure to get that stuff up. Product countdown text. So I'm just going to check that too. Artorias, LSB, GSB.
Valtier Lausberg. Hi. How do this work? What does what work?
How does the reservation and all that good stuff work? Yes.
Well, right now, that corner, there's going to be a countdown timer.
It's already, yeah.
Which means when the time hits, what time it hits? In 1 hour and 45 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah. So that makes it midnight.
How can I do this without doing it live and all over your faces? I mean, if we're going to do it on the... I'm going to have to do it on the... I wonder if it... Is it going to appear? If I do that, is it going to appear on the screen? Let me see. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, whatever. We keep it pro-fish. That's what we do.
Yep.
All right. Yes. Boom. Look at that, Chocks. Real time. I tried to use Streamlabs. I was like, what the...
Just give it a couple more seconds, Manuel. You should be able to see the timer.
Right.
Bye.
Are you off, Buffy?
Yeah, bye.
No, she's sticking around for the morning stream. She off.
Hold on. Great job. Thank you very much.
Right.
Alrighty.
All right, Valtier, that's right, awesome. So you know what that means. 1 hour and 44 minutes is when the Artorias LSB, which is life-size bus, a GSB, which is this grand scale bus, we will go through all that information with you in 1 hour and 44 minutes. You know, what is apples, what is oranges? So the difference between LSB and GSB, we'll go through that with you guys so you guys understand what's going on.
A lot of people are wanting to know what the price is, Chocks.
I know.
I want to know as well. Do you know what it is?
Yeah,
yet?
they've been asking that since last Friday.
I've been wanting to know as well.
I know.
Oh, you know, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
I know, but
well, let me know in the next.
I'll let you know, yeah.
All right,
I'll let you know
because I
later.
don't know what it is yet.
Guys, you'll be surprised. Why wouldn't you be surprised? You're surprised every single time we do a launch, right?
I know. They're surprised at how this one's so expensive.
Yeah.
You know, there is a. By the way, Harvey, are you online? Are those pajama bottoms? Bloody cheeky Joshua. Is Harvey online?
Facebook or YouTube?
I don't know. I just want to see whether or not they're online. If not, but I know we're recording this.
Usually logs in from
YouTube. It depends on what Mum's
Facebook,
left up
yeah.
on my computer or not.
Right.
Uncle Scabs, what?
What's up? What's up, fool?
What's up, fool? Which one? The fool in the hat? Oh, hi, Daddy. Okay.
There you go, Kanako. Hey.
So, this is the thing that I wanted to talk to you about, Chocks. You know, I just want to give you a bit of a recap about what's going on in terms of, you know, my family situation. In case you don't know, I mean, Chocks knows, but in case you guys don't know, I am half Chinese and I'm half English. My father is British, my mother is Chinese, but, you know, she's from a part of China where she cannot actually speak Cantonese, and she speaks her own dialect, which is Chaozhouhua, or also known as Teochew, and she also speaks Mandarin, of course, as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She keeps claiming to have the best cuisine, but I'm like, no, it's not. And
And
then Phil comes and goes, oh yeah, their intestines is like next level. I'm like, that's not going to convince me, is it?
潮州佬, which is like men, right? 潮州佬, men. Because I used to have a work colleague.
Right.
He's from 潮州 as well.
Right.
潮州family as well.
Right.
Right. And you know, like you have like a stigma of like that particular type of people from that that region or that county has that kind of certain character.
Sure.
潮州佬is they are meant to be like very aggressive. No, as in, yeah, it's like 潮州佬is like.
No, I've always said that Chaozhou is
aggressive.
supposed to be quite good at business, is what I've heard.
Really?
As well, I mean,
Good in what? In like aggressive business?
maybe if that's how you got to be aggressive in doing business in China. Like, I've had this argument with my mum so many times. Right? They grew up. What am I saying? My mum's world is being in this diplomatic bubble as part of my father's when my father was working in the British embassy. And what would happen was that they were going to my father would be sort of looking at goals like, oh, climate change, let's work on that. And the goals of climate change is let's reduce the world climate by 1 degree in 5 years time or 100 years time, right? That's like the kind of, I mean, obviously I'm dumbing it down a lot, but the point is, what's the point in shouting? It's not going to change the weather overnight, right? So they go into like the Ministry of Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Sound, Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health, all these sort of places, right?
Yeah.
Where they are talking to them, and of course you can't like be aggressive and shout. Now, of course, when my mum comes with me, she goes to the factory. She sees me going mental with the factory workers, the factory owners, my team, if stuff isn't being done, and she's like, "Oh my God, you can't do that. You can't."
Did she go?
Yeah, absolutely, right. And I just explained, it's when you're doing business
Shouting
and it's your money on the line, and let's say this, you're the factory owner, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you have client number 1 and client number 2. Both clients are equally important, just like Fair Verona, where you have the Montagues and the Capulets from Romeo and Juliet. They're both houses exactly alike in dignity, right? 2 equally important and well-respected customers in front of you, both with projects that are supposed to be done at the same time. Everything equal. One's really diplomatic. Oh yes, we would really hope that you could do this and do it on this time and perhaps, talk like this. And one's going absolutely spastic and shouting the hell at you. Who are you going to listen to? And that's the kind of things that I have to sort of explain to my mum, that doing business in China has made me incredibly aggressive, because if I wasn't, I feel like it would be that I would get walked over. And it's happened before. When I was starting out in this business, Chocks, I got screwed over so many times. I just, got a little bit sick and tired of it. I thought, fuck that shit. Let's actually sort
I'm
of...
the one that's doing the screwing, yeah.
Right. So, anyways, going back to the point, I just want to say, my mother, as I said, she's Chaozhou Ren.
Yeah.
Okay? She doesn't speak She doesn't speak Cantonese. She
Canton,
speaks
yeah.
Mandarin. And Harvey, my son, amazingly, I can't speak Cantonese. I can speak Mandarin, right?
Yeah.
He can speak Japanese with his mother, English with myself. He speaks Mandarin at school, but he also can speak Cantonese simply with hanging out with mates. And it's really fun because my parents are over right now. That
I speak Canto with him as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's pretty good apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good apparently, right?
Yeah.
So the point being that when my mother comes over and she only speaks Mandarin, Harvey has lessons with her. And what I mean by he tries to teach her stuff. All right. So I give you an example of one of the lessons, right? Okay. This is what he taught my mum. So he says, "Ama," is her name. What's the word in Cantonese for bridge? And she's like, I have no idea. I can tell you what it is in Mandarin. And she says to Harvey, it's qiao, right? And then Harvey says, okay, it's qiao, that's correct in Mandarin, but in Cantonese you pronounce it
Kill.
right. Okay, so in Mandarin it's qiao, okay, and in Cantonese it's
Kill.
okay, right. So my mum's like, okay, right, cool.
Yeah.
And then he says, how do you say flower? And my mum goes, I know how to say it in Mandarin. It's hua. But in Cantonese, it's quite similar, but it's not quite the same. In Cantonese, it's
Far.
okay. So so Harvey said to Amma, can you translate flower bridge? Say it then.
Flower bridge. Exactly.
Yeah. Flower bridge.
Flower
yeah.
bridge.
Yeah,
It's
yes.
like far kill. If you translate it like that.
Say it again, mate.
word for
Say it again.
Far kill. Yeah, I see what you get. Far kill.
I beg your pardon. Why are you being so rude to me?
No, it's different way.
It's totally, he did that to my
He did that on purpose,
my
yeah.
dad. He did it to my mum. He did it to everybody. Anyone. He's loving it. You got him, Harvey. Well done, mate. I asked him who told him that. He said like one of the cheeky neighbors on the corner. I was like,
Really?
Like, you're not hanging out with him again. Oh dear.
Well, if you're gonna learn that stuff, you learn it when
You're gonna learn it.
when you learn it when you're young.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Alrighty. So now you guys know. Flower Bridge in Cantonese is, one more time, Chocks.
Fa, which is flower.
Yeah.
Q, which is bridge.
And how do you say it? Can you say it twice quickly?
Fuck you, fuck you.
Now you guys know. Please spread the beauty of the Cantonese language to all your mates.
Cantonese, yeah.
I love it. Alrighty, Chocks. Let's kick off with those notices.
All right. Okay, so as you can see, guys, tonight is the reservation stream for Artorias, the Abyss Walker life-size bus and grand scale bus, the very first bus in the Dark Souls line.
Thanks, Braden. He's looking forward to seeing
forward
the
to
arty bus.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Looking forward to showing it to you guys. It's been in the making for a while.
It has been.
It has been a
Yeah.
while.
But I just want to quickly let you guys know we don't have it here because, Chocks.
Because, as you guys know, in June it's going to be E3.
Aye.
And we have sent both the little and large, to our friends at Bandai Namco. So those guys are going to have a booth, and we're going to have some Dark Souls goods on display. So hopefully, if you guys are attending, I know you will. So please take some nice pictures, share that into the club. So for those that can't attend, like moi.
Derry Baker, I told my boss that, now no more FRFs for me. Flower Bridge, mate.
Yeah, so next time you come to Hong Kong, you bump into a local and just ask for
Where's the local Flower Bridge?
Where's the local Flower Bridge?
What's up,
Yeah.
Emma? So, but we do have a video pre-recorded
Yeah,
that
yeah.
has all the information that we would have said anyways.
Yes.
And you'll be able to see the sizing, blah, 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 all that good stuff.
So guys, unfortunately we can't have it in the office, but yeah, it's nice to have that out in the wild, represented in one of the biggest events in the
Aye,
world. So
for sure.
E3 again.
Absolutely. Howard, stick around and you'll find out.
All right, so next. All right, so that will be in 1 hour and 34 minutes, where we go through all the information about the pricing, the shipping, how to pre-order, how to validate, etc., etc. So, guys, if you want to go and have dinner, have breakfast, or whatever it is, and you want to come back at that time, no problem. If you want to stick around and check out what's been happening this week, if you want to stick around for the Temptation Thursdays or even the Q&As, stick around. What?
I don't understand how Randy Gerard's almost got this week's hashtag right, but it's not quite right.
Nah.
It's actually F for F Lower Bridge.
Lower
Lower Bridge.
Lower Bridge.
Because then it's F for Flower Bridge. Because he's got
Yeah.
F for F Flower Bridge, but I would never say flower. How dare you? How rude! I would never say Flower Bridge. I would only say Lower Bridge with an F for F at the beginning. Which
Or was that sounding
F
Canto?
for Flower Bridge. I like it.
All right.
Oh, Ronald Jacob. Oh my god, my shoulder. I jacked it in.
Again, because of the big boss.
Indeed. Indeed.
All right, next up, Jet Black. Guys,
How many time do you need to make figures all the detail? 10 hours or 9 hours? I don't understand that. Zumez Force? What do you mean by that?
10 hours a day?
What's up, Andrew? Oh. You mean just make one statue? Does it just take us 10 hours to make it? A little bit more than that. A little bit more than that. Alright, Chocks, over to you.
Yes. Stop putting in.
Sorry.
All right, Jet Black pre-orders. That is still open until 7th of June. So, guys, if you picked up a Spike or you're just waiting for more Spike to hit other regions, do stick around, keep an eye out for that. So far, so good with the Spike out there so far, representing. A lot of happy customers with that. So, yes, pre-orders are still open for Jet Black. Right, other pre-orders that are still open. The Mini Akos, Mario and Yoshi, Solid Snake SD, Meta Ridley, Mimic, Shovel Knight Player 2, Phoenix Wright, Alphonse, Psycho Mantis, and Warpstar Kirby. Okay, guys, these pre-orders are still open. We will let you know just before it goes into production. We will do a last chance for those items. So just pre-order whenever you guys are ready.
Why on earth is Skype running in the background? I can't find the stop. Where the hell is the stop bar?
opening too many stuff.
No, it's basically because it's Skype and it's within the notifications of Microsoft. If I can just remove these, don't show. Ugh.
That's a good question, Aaron. What other bus do we imagine making an appearance from Dark Souls? Hey, do let us know.
Ornstein, Sif
Yeah,
will be the next two if this does well.
if this does well.
Hey, Tamantanes, how you doing, mate? These guns have been preparing for that, but ooh, it was so painful.
Yeah, the arms, but not the back, not the waist, not the legs.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so Zima's Force, it all depends on what we're making. If it's a full-size thing, it probably takes about a month of 8 hours a day and lots of people looking at things to refine a statue to where we're happy with it. Something like that, I would say.
Wow, Joshua with the
Firekeeper might be nice.
king of the cosmos.
I remember he's always been representing that. Always representing. Uncle Scabs, welcome back. Even though I know you say you're done with FRF, you're still here though. What's up, mate?
Done with
Yeah,
FRF?
he says he's moving into Monster Hunter now. He says Nito's, that's it. He's done after Nito. Done after Nito.
He's done-
That's been so hard though,
he's-
Nito.
he's done
so
with a lot of things,
that's
right?
fine because you know Nito's so hard that it's probably going to be like years and years. I mean, I saw it again today. I'm like, oh, that's not good.
Well, we'll put something else before Nito then.
Yeah, I know. So that means he still has to hang out with us in the club and
Sure.
keep saying word.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. Is no one selling dip? We didn't make that many of the dips. That's probably the reason
know.
why.
We should go back one day.
I do have a drop test video for you guys, but it's not of Bowser because that's not been prepared. It's,
Wonder how PVC Katamari will do.
Do you think it's because people just don't wanna what do we spend? What do we charge on that? It's only like $2.75 or something, wasn't it? I don't know. I would just say that I'm getting interested more and more into metal stuff. I got the bug from the Metal Crystal Dragon that I'm getting a want that metal to start working on metal things. Little small ones, metal ones, $50. Something like that. Nice little sort of almost jewelry case kind of simple kind of but elegant kind of like a the kind of what is it? The sort of they're not clamshells. It's kind of boxes, like the ring boxes, where they have the kind of thing like that, and it has like foil on top of it. That'll be alright. What's up, Jeff Freely? Yeah, so I'm sort of interested about that. I'm just interested about that. But yeah, all right, Chocks. Are we done with all that?
Yeah, we've done all that.
All right, sweet. Okay, Chocks, over to you.
Alright, so I was mentioning earlier on, Spike from Cowboy Bebop. That's been out in the wild. In Australasia. Yep.
Yeah.
Australasia.
Yeah, I've seen about
so-
3 of them or something like that now. Yeah. So
yeah. So
first sighting. So far, so good.
So good.
So
Fingers
far, so
crossed.
good.
Hopefully it goes over to US, Canada, EU soon. Hopefully it survives the boat, the transit.
Right.
So, but yeah, looking good.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice to see. It's nice to see Spike placed next to Saitama as well.
Right.
Yeah,
and they look good next to each other, don't they? Yeah, they do.
Because we would never imagine. Okay, because like Saitama's been out for a while, and then Spike. Seeing those two anime next to each other, it would be quite cool if someone puts that next to the Mugen, Spike, you know, all of them lined up. That'd be quite cool.
Right. It's been a while in terms of since we started this anime kind of venture, but it's slowly beginning to build up. I think also with what we're doing behind the scenes of a lot of stuff on MHA, etc. That would be that makes a huge difference, I think, as well.
Yeah. So okay.
All right. So
Go to you.
I've just been saying that this year, and I incorrectly said, did you? I said it's been a slow to the first half of the year, missing that.
Tell me that every day.
No, but I actually wrote on the.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I lost the month,
Yeah, I know.
but I gained it back just like that. FRF time. That's how it is.
You went too early. It was too soon.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, half a
absolutely.
year too soon.
But we knew this going in, Jocks. We knew this going in, but there's also we knew it was going to be a hard slog. Probably, I would say we knew it. We knew it quite early on because we know what's coming up, and we know the pace that we want to be at, which is one every 3 to 2 weeks, we were not going to hit. And it's not just that one. Some of the ones that we've done this year, it's more like, how do I say? It's kind of rude to say filler, but the point is, it's not the biggest hitting ones that it's more like the companion pieces. The mini echoes were companion pieces. I know that, for example, the busts is not going to appeal to as many people as it would be, and that's just the inherent nature. Most people would prefer to have the full thing.
Yeah.
One of them was a PVC, so it wasn't quite the sort of stable. If you go back to, I don't know, a year ago, where we were basically doing one every 3 to 2 weeks. 3 to 2 weeks, and each one was quite a substantial hitter. I mean, Alucards goes into banjo, goes into, Alphonse goes into guts, all that. Those are kind of, that's the sort of things that we were doing. And don't get me wrong, we've had a couple of big ones earlier as well, but it's not been that pace that we've been enjoying earlier. But it's almost like we say, you know what, we focus now to catch up on the stuff that we did, like all the packaging work we've got to catch up with, and developing all this stuff that we haven't even announced. There's a lot of stuff that we've been developing that we haven't announced, which we're really super pumped to show you guys. And we knew that going forwards, it was earlier on that it was going to be a bit of pain, and it was, and
well,
still is.
But like I said, it's like okay, last year we did, year on year we've done a lot of. Year on year, we've been doing more and more pre-orders. So 2 years ago, we had X amount of pre-orders. Last year, we had more than that. And then it's kind of like we've done a lot of pre-orders, but at the same time, the production side of things needs to catch up. Like I said, the packaging, approvals, and all that stuff.
Sure.
And now we're kind of like slowly getting back into building up some stuff for the later, the second half of the year.
Right.
But I think, like I said, if you don't want to have a slow start and like pushing everything in towards the end of the year, it's kind of like we need to find a way of balancing.
Sure.
Every month, there's big hitters and fillers and big hitters and fillers.
Okay, Force on YouTube. I don't know how many hours. We don't count the hours, but in terms of days, I would say about a month of concentration back and forth. Because sometimes it doesn't all happen over a month. We kind of do it, and then we do other projects, and then we come back to it. So, but overall, probably about a month of work, I would say. It's not really the growing pains. No, it's not really. Zach, you're gonna be E3, mate. I know you're East Coast, but maybe you'll be going there, or will you be in licensing show? Anyways, no. Just in terms of what the pain is, Sam Montanas, it's more like. I think the pain for us is. Excitement in the club is always something that we want to try and do. Yeah, of course, people are receiving their products, and of course we have if we're not even launching anything, we still have fun, things are coming on, etc, etc. But of course, everyone's buzzing in the club if it's a license that a lot of people like, etc, etc, which is what we were getting and having quite early. And it kind of reminds me how it was, if you recall, Chocks, when we did New York Comic Con, we showed like 18 new statues, which was ridiculous or something like that, but something like that. And it was really painful going through that all because people already knew what it was.
Maybe we have to go through that to get to where we are today.
Right.
If we didn't show 18, maybe we'd be doing something different.
Indeed. Probably have 100,000 people by now then.
I would have retired by now.
Absolutely. What was the size run of Dip? I'm still trying to find one. I'm not sure. It was, I don't know, really small.
It was low.
It was low. I don't even think it's what it even says on the box. How many details can go into figures? Lots. Force. Tons and tons and tons. Okay, but Zach, all I can say is we're working on things. I appreciate it, Samantanis. You've been, you see people every now and then who then discover us and then actually then really, how do I say, take the time to understand what we're about, who we are, and what we do, and how we do things differently. Some people just don't understand how we do that, but once you begin to understand, then I think there's a bit more of appreciation for that, and I really appreciate it for you, Mr. Jonathan. That's what you've been doing, so much appreciated, much appreciated. Ah, shit! I knew there was something I forgot to do.
What?
It still says Sekiro.
It's not Sunday yet.
I know. Whoopsies. Speaking of which, I felt guilty, Jocks. I felt guilty. Jocks.
Why?
Because I didn't die very much on Sekiro.
Oh, right.
I'm too good now. I feel kind of guilty.
Well, it's not the hardest game.
Easy! It's not the hardest game. Can't you do that? God.
What?
No, sorry. Can't he, like, change it? I guess he can't. He's a mod. I don't know if he can change that. Talk show. Done. Okay. Thanks for that, Nana. Should be okay now. Just making sure. No, it still says category. What? What? Let me try that again. Edit. What? Done.
Yeah, we get it. We hear that every day.
I
Can't
don't know why
afford
that
this.
doesn't work.
Running out of room. Uncle Scabs, we hear that.
My horny. Well, sort it out then.
So,
I don't even know anything about Twitch. I know nothing about it. All I know is I've got 3 subscribers, so therefore it means I'm a pro gamer.
who are the 3?
They're like guys are throwing me a bone. So yeah, 250. Yeah, it might say 125 pieces, but we never made that many. No siree. No siree.
Ay.
All right. So, anyways, we're looking forward to what we got coming down the pipeline. We've got that coming. I'm super excited about that one. That one has been confirmed. We've got that one coming as well, and then of course, the big one, and then obviously that one as well, and then that one. I'm not going to use a mute. I'm not going to use a mute for this one. I'm not going to use a mute, but it's definitely something that is exciting that we can get to that. I know you haven't decided on the next video game stream, but can we get a rematch with Gyobu and NG+? We need to know how much you've actually improved. What is the difference with the NG+ and normal? Is it just
You finish
hit
a game.
more?
You finish a game and start again.
I get that, but the guys must be harder? Or not? Do they get harder?
Maybe you restart with the same
Like skills and
Same
stuff,
skills
yeah.
and stuff,
So
but less
they get
items.
harder? And maybe they hit harder rather than they get harder. You have the same patterns and stuff, I get that. So, the next thing is, let's talk a little bit about FRF not being so small potatoes after PVC Nation. I believe, truly, Jogs, that I see it time and time again when people say they discover us for the first time through a PVC. Link is one of our biggest ones for Breath of the Wild. They find us through that. And I think it was even MJP, right? MJP was like, I didn't know who these guys were until he found our link. And he's a Mario nut, and he's involved in the community.
He's even picked up a silver.
And a Spyro, half a silver, we'll say.
Silver.
Half a silver.
Well, half.
Because only the arms don't work.
No, he charged it up and it's working.
Oh, come on. You are fake news, MJP.
He charged it up.
Oh my gosh.
Charged it up and it was working.
OMG.
The Spyro was for
Fake
the Spyro
news
was
for
his
Louise.
girlfriend. Yeah.
MJP, that is naughty. Naughty. I'll speak to Papa David to speak to you in person in the UK. Anyways, so that's a really good example where someone discovers us through our PVCs, and then that leads into then coming in part of the community, finding out more about us, and that for me is absolutely key. New and fresh blood always discovering us is the key. If you are constantly sitting there trying to go after the smallest percentage of people who have thousands of choices, that is for me the wrong strategy. And I therefore believe PVC Nation for us is absolutely key to expand the growth and allow us to continue to make the resins as well, Charles. Don't get me wrong, resins are our bread and butter, they're not going anywhere. We increase our resources to allow us to simultaneously do PVCs. That for me is a absolute recipe for success, because it brings us into this whole hierarchy of stuff. And then if you can then possibly have a tier of plush underneath, It's almost like the plush brings it into the PVC, which brings you then into the resins. Oh my god. Who came up with that great idea? Oh yeah, it was me. So, I think that is really, really important. Will we ever see PVCs with Ds with bigger bases? Absolutely. Nana said you definitely inspired me with your Crash. Unbelievable great DE version for yours. We're absolutely going to be doing those in the future as we start developing it. And we have so many PVCs in development right now that you don't even know about. That is going to be... It's just going to be another level, Chocks. It's just going to be another level. And I'm so excited that you guys are there to watch us and support us through this journey. So thank you very much for that. I feel so motivated for the future. Motivated for the future. And it also goes back to what I was saying last night as well. I did a post about saying saying a little bit more about what it is going to be and about investing in the future and how we had that pain in the first half of the year. Investing in the future, Chokes. I don't want to really talk about it right now until it really starts coming to fruition, but it's going to be a game changer for us, Chokes. It's going to allow for us to expand in a safe way that we can see what's going on and just generally be far more aware of what's going on there, Chokes. I mean, the reality is we produce a lot of pieces every month, every year, and there's a lot of balls in the air, a lot of things, and it's easy for things to fall through the cracks, Chokes. We just got to try and do our best to put in processes in place to try and catch them all. Would you not say, Chokes?
Well, yeah, definitely. With all the stuff, multiple things coming from different angles.
Right, absolutely. So PVC Nation is absolutely coming. Now, I hope that we can kind of, I don't know, would you agree, Chocks, maybe 10 years ago, PVC was kind of like almost like, maybe for those that aren't really into or didn't really understand the Japanese market and the quality of the PVCs that you get out of Japan, that PVCs is typically the kind of $20 action figures in Walmart or Toys R Us. It's almost like the kind of connotation for that. Whereas what we're trying to do is bring the kind of PVC styling from Japan into the products that we make here at a sort of, how do I say it, in a way that you don't have to sort of pay those importation fees, and generally it's kind of hard to get PVCs from Japan. Would you agree with that, Chocks? I mean, you've got to go through Ami, and there's sort of other ways to do it, but it's not as how do I say, user friendly, of course, as if it was kind of like the same business model that we have right now.
Well, it's different. I mean, the things, if you were to get them imported in, you probably have to go through a retailer and stuff, and it's kind of a different experience. It's just like just ordering stuff on Amazon, for example, or some of the other online chains, and that's it. You just check out, get it. It's a lot easier than it used to be.
Absolutely, it's a lot easier than it used to be, and that's why I try to say 10, 15 years ago, when that wasn't so evident, it wasn't so easy to do that like it is now. The concept of PVC used to be a little bit, but I believe now
it's a bit like the game industry where, 15 years ago or whatever it is, if you were to if you want to play an import game, you had to get it from your specialist game shop.
Right.
There was no such thing as region free stuff. You had to get, a special,
I remember getting Chrono Cross was like,
you had to get
first time I went on eBay.
You had to get a special adapter, right? Like, so say the Mega Drive or the Super NES, you had to get a special adapter, or you have to do a hack, maybe chip off one of the plastic tabs to insert the cartridge. So nowadays everything region free, everything digital has become a lot easier. Right.
And so what I mean by then, therefore, with the exposure to Japanese PVCs becoming easier and people understanding that a little bit more, that the almost negative connotations of PVCs being cheap or not being good quality because of the action figures, that the more toy-based PVCs.
Yeah, they're all split into different specific categories.
But I think it's become more obvious to more educated people who are in this game, who understand this market a little bit more, and that's really refreshing. And I hope that people who've received, now we've done quite a few now, 4 now, I believe. Is that right, Chocks?
Which ones?
So we got
PVCs,
into the marketplace. We've got Link, Crash, Spyro, Artorias, and Snake. Right, 5.
Solaire.
Sorry, I didn't mean Snake. I meant Solaire because Snake's not out there. 5
Solaire.
Physically out there, and people can see the quality up close, and hopefully people are happy with that. So a lot of, when I say, oh, we're going to do lots of PVCs, a lot of the resin specific people might feel a little bit like, it's PVC. I'm not interested. I only like resin. But maybe they've been a little bit more convinced about the PVCs because they were previously thinking, PVC is going to be the cheap stuff. But actually the PVC that we're doing is a little bit closer to the resins than it is to the, well, obviously we're positioned to be closer to the resin than we are than the $10, $20 action figures in the Toys R Us. Material doesn't bother Neo-D. It's scale. I appreciate that. Kirio's coming on amazingly, concept-wise. I'm happy with that. And don't give me a black disc as a base. Are you Neo-D and Nana say you both begin with N? I'm a bit suspicious now whether or not you're one and the same. Make sure you know which account you're messaging from. Both happen to be on Twitch. How convenient. And sizing is an issue. Right? PVC is small and fits in my spaces, Uncle Scabs. And I'm so pumped for what we got coming up for our PVC range. FREP PVC Nation is coming. It's going to be a game changer for us. And it was a little test with Link, and it's now going to become a full-blown thing and a completely individual arm to come next to our PVC arm. It's going to be another one right there. Sorry, next to our resin arm. It's going to be fantastic. And then CHOCKS, the sky's the limit. Will you ever make a PVC that does not have to be the oversized head? Matthew Scrum, you're referring to SDs, right? Those are the Artorias and Slayer and Snake SDs. We also do TFs, which are the ones that they don't have the big heads, of which we've done Link and we've done Spyro and we've done Crash. And we've got some others in that TF series, so we're absolutely doing it. In terms of Dark Souls TF, not right now, but it's definitely something that we haven't not ruled out in the future. We're still absolutely committed to our Dark Souls SD line, and we've got a lot more coming in on that. But who's to say that we can't be doing some stuff afterwards? And we hope we can be doing Dark Souls for a long time. Any plans to make PVC comparable to the size of resins? Not really. We're not really planning to go PVC into the sort of 1/4 scale stuff, if that's what you're talking about. Maybe the 1/6. The reason is we want to hit a price point that doesn't go over a certain amount, because basically retail shops will not stock it. To try and get into the Best Buys, the GameStops, the Targets, the Walmarts, all those sort of places, Micromania, all those sort of places, you really need to not go over a certain SRP, and that's the reality. So we are dictated to by the price that the chainsaws are willing to pay. Of course, we could make it. It's just if there was no difficulties or restrictions or anything like that, of course we would love to do TFs and SD for every single bloody character you can think of. Right. Yeah. Right. Nana said you ripped off Spyro, yeah? I didn't even know you picked one up. How is it? Obviously you don't like the base. I made it black just for you, mate. As I was painting it, I was like, oh yeah. Oh Nana. Oh Nana. What's your name? Oh Nana. Alright. So Guts has been to the dentist, gonna have a little bit whiter teeth. Neo-D, what do you think, mate? I know that's something that we talked about when we did that video last time. Bowser, I went to the factory today to check out Bowser. I did a video. I did the DDT. That will be, I guess, I'll show that when I come back from Vegas. Alright. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a video of the production trip to the factory last week for Ornstein. Because this is almost like a Dark Souls themed stream, and we have to do a countdown. We've got to do TTs. We've got to do all that sort of stuff. We've got to do the weekend review. No, what is it? Q&A. That's the name of the title, right? Right. So let me start running this video first. It's about, what, 9 minutes long or something like that?
No, about 12.
12 minutes long. And that's all going to be all about Ornstein. So yes, we will first play that, and then we will see you on the other side. What is up, guys? This is Alex from Versa Figures, checking out the Ornstein auction pieces. The factories called me over to check out about 50 of these bad boys. Packing process. If I agree to these and we are happy with that, then my team will continue to check every single one to make sure the quality is what it needs to be, and then we up shipping them out. And of course, Australia will be first as we get that sent out. So we are finally at that stage now, and my god, what a sight it is to have the terracotta warrior armies of these Ornsteins. They're looking really great from initial inspection. Now of course, this isn't the first time I've been here, but now this is the time to actually say, you know, it's time for it to be packed and sent out. So of course, want to make sure that that beautiful color is there and consistent, and then you have this beautiful weathering effect that goes through in those details. Now, one of the things that we had to do was the flat surfaces over here, which would be a lot, because what we did before is we actually had quite a lot of dirt going over everything. But, so for example, there would be a lot of dirt on this section as well. But From Software would say, no, we really want it more just in the edges, the way that they, in the details and the grime in that area, not the flat area. So you can see it's a lot cleaner over here, but dirtier in the crevices. So that's what we're over here. Again, all these crevices meet up at this section, so it's a little bit dirtier, whereas these flat sections here are nice and clean. Again, you see that over here, and you'll see that process throughout the entirety of the piece. Now we got those gems a little bit brighter and cleaner. Got those a little bit brighter, flatter again along here. Flat areas, not so much dirt, just more in the creases. Don't have them on the flat surfaces, is what you see from that. And the other one was to sort of really look at the tip. We have this effect going along here, a bit of sort of rough into it as well, and the way it goes into the spear tip. All right, and the hair itself, let's give us a bit of a turn. Why don't we have a look? Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, just give me, yeah, anyone is fine. Give it a bit of a turn. Yeah, that's great. All right, so we can sort of see the hair, and that's a separate piece that comes off, so it won't be damaged in shipping, which is good. Yeah, that's good. And I don't know if you guys can really pick it up, but there is bits of blood on the bottom, but I find that any yet. Oh, you just, oh my god, you totally just stabbed that. Now we've got to fix that. Oh my god, Ornstein Spear just took that out. It's not a big problem, we'll sort that out, don't worry. There's a little bit of blood effect going along in here, so there's that as well. Again, the smooth surfaces, all those areas, the same logic, flat, nothing, crevices, dirt. And you'll see that again throughout all of that, and you can see the way that the inner part has this kind of red effect, which again is something that we changed from the original one. We didn't have that originally, and From Software asked us to do that. So you can see it again in here as well. All those areas, it makes sense for them to have it like that. And then this beautiful base. If you played the game, of course you'll know there's this lovely pillar. And we've got it smashed up, and he's standing on top of it. It's a nice little finish to it. I love this base. I really like it. The way it's been mashed up. So the things I'm looking at is to make sure that it's been painted in the right way with all the dirty effect to make it weathered. The weathering effect on the top of the base as well. Yeah, he looks really, how's the word? Awesome's the word, but actually more regal, I think is the word I was trying to say. Just the pose itself. It's a really, it's a sort of, it shows you the strength of a museum pose and the way that he's standing there. He looks like he's just, because normally quite often times we do a lot of dynamic poses. You would have seen our guts is very dynamic. But there has to be standing there as well. It has its place. It has its place. For sure. It's great. So, I've done another video that I will be working on, and that is the inspection of the inspection and the processes of the exclusives, which I will show you, and I will run that exclusive one now. What is up, guys? This is Alex from First Figures, checking out the Ornstein exclusive spear with the lightning effect on top. I'm going to show you just a little bit of how that's being done. It's a very, very complicated thing, and in hindsight it would have been a lot easier if I didn't have it try to light up, but it is what it is. Now, this is an EL light cable. Now, it's not like the traditional LEDs. We wanted to avoid those because it has, LEDs obviously have the dot 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 effect throughout it, and also they wouldn't have the ability to bend along a kind of lightning effect. Now, here are the pieces, and you can see all of them along here, right? There are like 8 different parts to it that we have to assemble. Of course, it's 4 sections, but there are 8 parts. So you take one, and then you put it on top of the other. Like, these are some random ones, I haven't obviously lined them up properly. And they connect with each other, and then you run the cable. And the thing about this EL cable is, of course, it can bend, and therefore it allows for you to be able to get it up through all those turns and areas that we need to sort of feed the thread through. All right, so again, these are the different sections. All right, just sort of showing you, and you can see here are some ones that have already been done. Okay, so you can see the way that we're threading it through the cables is going all the way along here. The assembly of this thing is pretty tough. I mean, the 2 different to thread each section and then hold it in place. It's something where we so what we have to do is have these just to sort of, once you put it in the right location, then just hold it in place as we're gluing them to put them all together. Okay. Now, the final finish, of course, is this. It's not transparent. It's not transparent like this. Here are some ones from before that it's one of these. You can see, putting this side by side, just a version, you can see painted with a pearl finish and different sort of shading that's gone through it. So you can see how that has been accomplished, sort of done through all of that. So you can see there's the difference between the two. Now, if you notice, of course, that these pieces have, as the 2 sections that are put together, there will be a line that goes through the middle. Obviously, it's impossible to remove that because they're 2 sections. All right, you can see that there are 2. Maybe I can see it a little bit easier on, perhaps over here. You can see, if you're looking, you can see that there are 2 sections, like, as you can imagine, you can see that line there. All of them will have to have that, of course, because they're 2 parts. In order to get that wire through it, it's physically impossible to do anything. You can't obviously make it it's not possible to make it, how do I say it, hollow, and then feed a thread through there. It's just impossible. Okay, and the other thing is, of course, as I said, there are sections of connections here. So you see, it's not one long line. It's not one long line. It's pieces that you have to connect together and then make it longer. So what I mean by that is, you'll see. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the connection point? Oh, right. So you can see some connection points here. Right, some connection points here. Here's an example there. There's a connection point there. Higher manager, let me see. Let me see some more connection. 还有什么 connection points 吗？就是全部都是这边. Yeah, so like over here. Okay? Yeah, so of course that's going to be there as well. So let's go have a quick look and see what it looks like actually lighting up. Boom! Alright, there you go, guys. Okay, so you can now actually see how it looks. Now, as I said to you before, in order to get that continuous light go through there, we had to use this EL cable, light up effect. so you don't have the single dots that you get from LEDs. Now, they are definitely, of course, not as bright, but you can definitely see it working. You can definitely see how it looks. I've got to say, that looks pretty badass. There are two modes. The first mode is, of course, the flashing one, and of course you have the solid on mode as well. Flashing. So yeah, alright guys, just wanted to show you that. This was important to sort of highlight the production difficulties with making the light up. Now, it was really important to notice that, to note that it's not possible to have these without the section line going down the middle. It is physically impossible to do it with a hole in the middle, and then you can then feed that wire all the way through it. Now, as I said, in retrospect, had I have not put any light, it would be easier to do. But hey, if I'd done that, you would be able to see this cool setup over there. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it here, and then it's time for me to do my proper, full-on inspection. FRF is love, and FRF is life. Boom! It's so hard. We never know when it's about to happen. What did you guys think of that? Hopefully you like what you saw. That was my time over looking at Ornstein. I gave it the thumbs up to go into the packing stage, Shock. So
Finally!
Yeah, finally. I think probably in about 2 weeks' time we'll start seeing some shipments over to the Australians to be our guinea pigs.
Cool. That means we'll get a sample in the office soon, and we'll take some lovely photos.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Manuel, as I'm sure you saw, there is a solid on mode as well. If you don't like the zapping, of course, you might even consider, Chocks. What is it?
What?
What the hell is it? Oh god. When you look at things and it's like strobing and then you like fall over and like start puking and stuff.
Epilepsy.
Yeah, that's the one. That's right.
Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, right. To trigger an epileptic fit, you can just have it on a solid on mode as well. Nice one, Neo D. Put them all together, but I thought you were about to sell yourself. I see what you do. I see what you say. All right, yeah. So I'm glad you like that. Can't deal with the EO Transformer wine. I didn't hear any Transformer wine. Was there a Transformer wine?
Like a low buzz humming noise.
Is there?
I remember the prototype did.
Really?
Yeah. It's ever so slight. It's
Like mosquitoes.
No, mosquitoes are much louder.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Jordan Bridgeland, always this guy, right?
Check the shipping calendar.
It's like a romantic comedy, right?
Bookmark the bloody calendar.
Why did Friends do so well for so long? It's because you knew how the characters would react in certain situations. Oh, that's so Chandler. Oh, that's so Monica, right? Or it might be like that for, How I Met Your Mother, or any kind of sitcom, right? And Jordan, Spyro, about to receive something, you know what he's going to do. Just like any comedy, you know exactly how he's going to react in a certain situation. I haven't seen you since you received your OG Spyro.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Indeed. Let's see. Yeah, that's right, Joshua. You're going to be the guinea pig. You were a guinea pig for Solaire as well. Yes, anything Australian-based. Alright, so the next thing was a production video on Shiranui. Need steady hands for that, Chocks. Each one, all those things. If you saw that video, she has super steady hands where she's painting it.
Painting the mouth.
Right, and the eyes as well. That was really, really tough. Then, Ami TF, I was just looking through some stuff. We actually did the documentary this week. Just to prepare it. It wasn't the final ones, but because it's far away, it's fine. And we have the final samples arriving in the next few weeks.
We'll have to start on it before you're leaving.
But this is the point, Chocks. We actually filmed the Artorias documentary probably 3 weeks ago. And that's great because what we used to do, literally what we always used to do, was film it on the Wednesday of the stream. and Friday is going to be launch day because we were so tight and so everything was so last minute.
Sometimes do editing on the Friday.
Right.
Or rendering on the Friday.
Right. And then rendering at like a 720 because it won't render at 4K in time, for example. So, that is really what we're having to avoid, and we're getting there. To the fact that we have now done that Artorias video so far in the future, and likewise the same thing that we've done for the AMI TF, it means that we're getting to have things in hand. And if something that we plan doesn't work, we can just slot in something else and have all the materials ready as well. And that for us is really key. To be able to do that means we can plan a little bit better about, hey, if you're a Berserk fan, you're most likely to be a Dark Souls fan, and they're trying not to put them too close together, something like that. But sometimes if you don't have the plan or you don't have things in hand, and only these two items are right next to each other, then you don't have a choice. And that's something that we're trying to avoid. Oh god, it's Skype, for God's sake. Why is this...
What?
I'm trying to make sure...
You want to turn off the notifications?
No, I'm just trying to turn off the... let me turn off the... It's not the notification, it's coming up. I turned off the sound, but it's... For God's sake. Task Manager. I can't find it here. It's not here, because it's internal in Microsoft.
Why would it be internal?
Because it belongs to Microsoft. Okay. Turn off notifications, there you go. Okay. Should be right.
Don't have it on mine.
I don't know. I don't even know how that says. I've never seen this before.
I've seen that, but I've never seen it within that.
I've never seen that before. Clean all the notifications. It's a bloody nightmare. It was lots of it. I put the computer sounds back on now. Hopefully it should be okay. No, I told the notification center to not even think. Don't even think about it. Speaking of Orni, when is Phil going to contact me about the FREF Orni points?
I don't know. You should know. I've sent him all the messages.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Maybe he's missed it.
It wouldn't be the first time, right, Nana? Alright, okay, moving on. The Sonic and Tails is significantly more complicated and bigger overall as a piece than Sonic 25th. It will be more expensive by quite a bit. It is looking really great. Really proud of that piece. It's from initially going, CHOCKS, how the hell are we going to get this bad boy in the air, right? Just thinking, like, how are we going to get that to be done? And then we worked on that, we came up with some ideas and all that sort of stuff together, and it really was then executed very, very well. Engineering-wise, to have them suspended in the air, the way that they're done, the way that their hands are holding, and it gives the impression that Tails is lifting up Sonic, is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Is there a way to add a subtitles to a live video? It's hard listening with no headphones while hiding in the bathroom at work. I love it. I love it. Fighter compensation points are also still missing.
But there are like live subtitling, isn't there?
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
But it's always messed up. When it's like their algorithm trying to predict what you're actually saying.
Really? Is that what it is?
Well, if it's like live news or whatever it is, there'll always be somebody in the back translating, right? But sometimes there are some applications. There are some apps will do some live translating, but let's say they have a.
Have you heard of something called Speak Dragon?
A strong accent, and sometimes the words come out differently.
I totally know what you mean. What's up, Jose?
Hey, Jose.
He's not Spanish.
I always see Jose and I call it Jose. Jose then. Just sounds better, Jose, doesn't it? Jose.
No way, Jose.
Jose.
Oh, Crash Teehee.
Crash
Kart.
Yeah.
It's a bit of that, bit of Teehee. That's coming along nicely. We're going to go into. We've got approval on that to go into the making the physicals. So that's cool. I think that's what. Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Sekiro number 7 stream Let's Play search. Now that is again I actually feel like I'm unstoppable. There was this crazy boss that it took me quite a while to take him out. Right, Chocks? The ape one, you saw that one?
Yeah.
And then, right afterwards, I had to fight 2 of them at the same time.
Oh,
And I did it first time.
Yeah? You fluked it. You saw some early tutorials?
What the hell?
Maybe you got a lot of help from the guys that watch the stream.
No, what usually happens is I get help. Like, if anyone tries to tell me what's happening coming up, I don't want to know. I like to do the element of surprise. I like that.
Okay.
Then what happens is when I sit there and I get mashed and it's over a stream. Sometimes obviously they'll do it in real time as well. But if it's over a stream, like the next stream, people will like go, okay, what you need to do is do this and that. Which is you saying it is one thing, but obviously you got to have the timing and all that sort of stuff. It's also sort of important. But yeah,
it's kind of like a strategy guide.
Fluked 4 figures. OMG.
Strategy guide.
Both Viku.
There are cheap Bluetooth earbuds you could use at work. My old boss at the laundromat I worked at never noticed the ones I had. Or if it did, he didn't care because they were... Really? They stick out a mile. They're massive. They stick out a mile. How is that not noticeable?
You just have like really black earwax coming out of your ear. Does anybody know what these are?
Nice one, Jordan. You got your spiral PVC. Did you post any pictures?
Oh my god, you got it.
Yeah.
But the tracking number. And when's the postman going to actually walk up to your door in real time? Make sure you contact CS to let you know. Jordan, let me know in the comments. Did you ever think we were scammers before you got your OG resin? Hopefully we bought a lot of, how do I say it, believability and belief when you actually got your original Spyro.
Yeah, well, they're always going to believe. It's just when you get the first one, you just think that, oh, maybe you just got lucky. It's the consistency.
Right.
Maybe Jordan will have to get like 2, 3, 4, 5 items before he starts believing. And then he'll go back and think, one of these days, it's like a volcano, right? It's about to erupt. So my 6th one might be a dodgy one. And then it resets everything again. It's like, oh.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Don't stop believing. Tell them it's a hearing aid, Chocks. That's what you need to do.
Yeah, sure. A really good, trendy looking. Actually, hearing aids are always really horrible looking. My friend, like back in UK, he had a hearing aid, one of those kits with like a little switch on the back. I've always wondered what that switch does. I've always
Surely it's turn up the volume.
no, turn on and off.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Can't you like turn up the volume?
I think volume was a different dial.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, they're always like really ugly. Are they still like really ugly looking? Like you put it in and it hooks around your ear. There's got to be some really good looking ones now.
Surely, right? Like
Yeah,
new
I know,
technology,
new
right?
technology and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
like what the bodyguards use. it's like in their ears, yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be. But what's that? What's it? It's like it's something called like colloquial ear or something like that, where it's like actually like drilled into the back of the head.
Oh.
But if it's drilled in the back, does it actually then go to the ear as well? I'm not even sure.
Now I think you can actually implement it behind the ear. There's some technology where you can actually
New
put the speaker inside.
hearing aids 2019.
Mario, no, you can't pre-order the Artorias bus just yet. In 43 minutes, we will start talking about Artorias.
So groundbreaking hearing aid innovations. I mean that's what we were talking about, isn't it? Something like that, where you can get it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just a picture or not, because this is kind of all standard. But what is that thing called?
Oh, they're much better looking nowadays.
Well, it looks like you just got a Bluetooth headset on. There you go, look, invisible hearing aids. That's kind of what it's all about. I mean, look, that's not as bad. It's still there, but it's not as bad. Rather than the sort of ones over there. What is the one called? Does anyone know what it's called? They are so small and almost invisible now. Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Welcome, Alicia. It's been a while. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Amaric. How you doing?
And just Jordan.
Fingers
answered.
crossed to Catherine. What was Jordan say?
Yeah, you did, Alex. You have my trust. LOL. And not yet, Chocks. Will do though.
Oh, right, not
What did I
not
say?
yet Chocks.
Oh, yeah.
He says like, you got my trust, Alex, but not yet Chocks.
Don't
Because
trust me. Don't trust me.
Jordan
Don't
is
trust me.
Jordan is too cool for grammar, right? So what he meant to say was,
Yeah.
yeah, Alex, you did. You have my trust. Lol. Stop. And not yet, Chocks. Will do though. About something else you asked
Yeah,
him.
yeah. I can't remember what I asked.
He's too cool for grammar, mate. Too cool. Too cool for that. Renato. South America, Chocks. When are we going to do that? Convention. South America.
South America. Wow.
Aye.
Nice.
Wow. Indeed. All right, Chocks. Temptation Thursdays. We're actually realizing we haven't got much time. I've just realized. Can you register a statue if you do not have a card? Well, do you know what the code is?
Do you know what the secret code is? It's like
Right.
that sounds weird. Do you know what the code is?
Okay, so talk about this one is first, and then I'll talk about this.
Yeah, so last week was Mario Kart.
Yeah.
TT 152. Currently at 387 votes. It's not even moving. 69.5 says yes. 30.5 says no. So that's 260 votes. 269 votes for yes. 118 votes for no.
That's quite interesting. It's not that very many, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So this week's is.
Psychonauts.
So let me just, in case you guys don't know what it is, I'm just
What
going
is
to
a
run
Psychonaut?
you a quick video. We'll see you on the other side.
My name is Rasputin, but everybody calls me Raz.
You're late, soldier. Now get in here and give me 20. From this day forward, you are all psychic soldiers, paranormal paratroopers, mental marines who are about to ship out on the adventure of their lives.
They told me this was a summer camp.
That lake isn't as peaceful or as harmless as she looks.
I think there are several fishy things that need psychic investigating.
You think you're more advanced than me, new kid?
He's completely brainless. The dream was true. Lily, they stole Dogen's brains.
This is an honest-to-goodness psychic emergency.
I wonder, could the old legends be true?
This will only hurt until your brains come flying out.
Get back! Help!
Welcome to my mind.
I need killers. I need angry brains.
Powerful human child.
What a delightfully mean little brain you have.
Who are you working for?
I'm gonna kill you so much.
Lily, a deranged madman is building an army of psychic death tanks to take over the world, and there's no one who can stop him, except for you and me.
Oh my god! Let's make out!
You shall engage the enemy in his own mentality. You shall chase his dreams. You shall fight his demons. You shall live his nightmares. And those of you who fight well, you will find yourselves on the path to becoming international secret agents. In other words, Psychonauts!
Boom! So that is Psychonauts TT trailer. Don't get excited. It's not. It's like we are.
Yeah, it's not an announcement.
It's
guys.
not an announcement
Yeah,
or anything
not
like that.
announcement,
So we're
yeah.
gonna try.
That's it,
We
Robbie Thomas.
kept saying that we were gonna be doing this earlier, but because I feel like people need a refresher whether or not they
Sure,
even know it,
yeah,
all that sort of
yeah.
stuff. So if Psychonauts is for you, please go ahead and vote because right now the TT is open.
It's opened. Currently at 231 votes. 39 votes says yes. 192 says no.
Now I totally understand why you gave me the Slayers one. Because you expected me to do it today because it was going to be for next week. Actually, I didn't even think about that. I thought next week I then show it. But it's supposed to be the week beforehand.
Right.
So-
So I gave you two. I gave you both anyway.
I guess I could probably do it. I mean, let me see if I can do this in
Might
real
as
time.
well
No, I've
play
got to
it.
bloody open up Skype again. Holy smokes. Skype. So let me see if I can get this to work.
Yeah, 'cause
So you got the numbers on that, right?
numbers what?
You got the numbers, or you just said out the numbers a second.
Yeah. Already done the numbers for TT 153 Psychonauts. So next week,
Right.
is going to be Slayers.
Hold on.
Anime selection.
See if I can see if this works.
So for those guys that need a fresh reminder, what is Slayers?
Let's see if this works. Yes, so if you need a refresher, it should be this. Holy smokes, so good, Alex. How did you manage that? Alright, so we're going to show Slayers.
暴れるモンスターあればとことんぶちのめし、輝くお宝あれば無理やり独り占め、大胆不敵全校的。
Old school.
Old school Slayers, if that is your jam, next week's TT will be just that. So make sure you do vote for the big yes or the big no, depending on how you feel about whether or not you want to see that. So go ahead. Next week, that will be the next TT that we'll be doing. Let us know if you enjoyed just seeing the little trailers, a little bit of reminder. I think it's quite cool to run that.
Good.
Yeah, just a little bit of media for that.
Sometimes it's nice to see
What's up, Sam?
what the TT is about.
I saw you got your Alu cards, mate. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you... How do they know it's FF Lower Bridge? Yeah, I haven't even done that bit yet. Yeah,
Hey, Sam.
so yeah, no, definitely that's something like that. All right, Chocks, let's do the hashtag winners.
Yes.
We have 2 winners. Here are your initials. We have ELHV. Huh? You didn't hit that. We didn't have that. We didn't.
What are you talking about?
That's what I'm thinking, yeah. Mute number 1. All right. ELVH. ELVH. Congrats, winner number 1. That's Emma Hardcastle. I know she just recently got her Spyro. That's sweet. And Lucas Valdaspino. Boom. Lucky winners, 500 reward points coming to you. This week's hashtag is F4F, a lower bridge. F4F, hashtag F4F, a lower bridge for a chance to win 500 reward points chosen at random. And that will be 2 lucky winners so far. Hashtag F4F, lower bridge for a chance to win 500 reward points chosen at random. Michael, the EU shipment is supposed to be arriving on Tuesday, I believe. Should be Tuesday for the Spyro EU shipment. Alrighty. A few Chocks. King of the Ring.
the problem?
You haven't prepared yet?
We're going.
Not prepared. I can go with my thing next
The
then.
Nana said just tags us like 1
So
second.
you're not ready yet, yeah?
I'm not ready because I'm
okay, cool,
being
right.
tagged.
We'll see you on the other side. We've got the Ornstein DDT for you. We're gonna roll that right now. Is that moving? What the hell?
It's one of those.
What the hell?
Anytime that box is gonna move. That box will open.
Because
itself.
obviously we don't have sound. We don't know if was there any sound?
It's just a box.
It's just the box.
Jeff says it's not moving.
Okay, that.
Don't you?
Yeah,
guys.
now you know. It is what it is.
Why is it not?
In order to be able to keep it. So I double choose that again. Go okay. And surely, if I click that.
What is
There
up,
you go.
guys?
Right,
now you know
finally.
it's time for the dreaded drop test for Ornstein. I've got the exclusive one here. Now the great thing is we managed to get it all into one box. Interestingly though, it's the first time you're going to see one that's quite so long as this. Now, what we have to do is, the way it works is if the length, the depth and the girth, all of that sort of stuff, the length, depth and the width, when you add those all together, if it goes over 3 meters, it means that you can't go by typical courier like FedEx or UPS, any of those sort of people cannot go typical in typical sort of vans, delivery vans. So they have to use a special type of van if you go over. And the moment you do that, the expense goes crazy for the shipping. So we thought we were going to have to ship it in 2 boxes, I believe, originally. I can't remember exactly, but we managed to get it into 1. So I just need to double check if we've done that in terms of, you know, the costing. I need to double check to make sure that we're cool with that. We got it into 1 box. So that's going to mean that in order to keep it within the 3 meters, we couldn't double box this bad boy. Unfortunately, it is what it is. In order to be able to keep it in 1 box and to keep it in within the 3 meters. So there's a lot of padding inside, but it's certainly not double boxed. In the meantime though, it's time to do the dreaded drop test. Now I have a beautiful setup here. All of these places over here, we could do the drop test with this in the background, but we've got such a massive army over here. It'll be nice to have this in the background. So let's do this. Charles, over to you. Okay. Ornstein exclusive dreaded drop test. Let's do this. Let's come over here, Charles. F for F. We're not going to try and change the box. It is right here. All right. This. Yeah. Woo. Okay, let's do it, let's do it. Thanks, Charles. 打开. I'm glad everybody. Oh, we're moving over here. All right, open it up. Check it out. Nice to see that logo. Massive box going this way. It's interesting to see this kind of design. Now you need you've got 2 sets of handles over there. 我们看后面，等一下，我们看后面吧，把它翻过来。Let's have a look on the other side. Look at that. gorgeous. A logo. We got the the shape of him. Yep. Okay. Okay. And then of course this side up, please. This side up. This side up. Okay. FRF logo. Title. Dark Souls. Now we've done it. This is the first time because it's such a long one. We've actually got it wrapped around over here as well. It needs to have it. So there's lots of things for you to cut around. So don't be a noob and just do it so you can do it. And it goes all the way like that. I don't want to see people unboxing and cutting it. Ooh, 1, 2, please. For all that is holy, don't do that. Pet peeve right there. Okay, this is the exclusive version. 普通版就没有2个，就是单独的，就是什么都没有，对吗？我知道普通版什么都没有，就是空白的，对吗？
只有一个。
所以这个是空白的，对吗？是
有一个这个。
我知道有一个的，可是我的意思是说，它的那个盖子是一样的，对，模具方面的，就是这个是有空白的，对吗？就是看出来的。Okay, yeah. So the regular version will just obviously only have the standard version, and won't have anything in this location here. Did you just hit it on the top? Did you just hit it on the top? God. You just hit it on the light. Okay, just making sure. 先把普通版放在上面的。Okay, let's have a look. Number 1, the hair as a separate piece obviously is not going to be a problem. Yeah, I'm just going to make sure that's fine. All the points. Okay, that's still there. It's good. Any breakages? No? This is it's some pieces that you have, it's really easy to quite quickly check if they're broken. Let's say it's a Kirby or something like that, it's quite easy because it's just round, that's all you have to consider. But this has got so many sharp points that it's important to kind of really look to see if there's anything that's been snapped off. 这个是 PU 对吗？对。Okay, so this is a PU material, meaning it has a certain flex to it, otherwise that's Snap City if we didn't change that material. Okay, so far so good. Okay, this is all, yeah, okay, so far. Okay, 我们把那个特别放上去的吧, right? So I'm putting the exclusive spear on now. Okay, 好，把那个灯关上吧。Okay, one more mode. Boom! Check it out. Yes! My boy Ornstein has passed his DDT. What a good golden boy he is. Alright guys, gonna leave it here. It's time to get these bad boys into your collections. FRF is love, and FRF is life. And I'll see you on the next one.
Boom! Ornstein DDT got the thumbs up. Unbelievable. So, so you guys asking about the shipping, absolutely. Did I not say at the beginning? I can't remember if we were doing 2 into 1. If we did 2 before. If we did, of course, we're FRF. We're not going to screw you. If we thought it was going to be 2 boxes, and we charge you for 2 boxes, and it's now 1, well, we're not going to keep the same price, will we? Come on, you know us better than that, surely. Surely. That's what we do. So let's go back and to see what's up. If you're saying that you were charged for 2, you were charged for 2. You will not be at the final amount. We've got to figure that out. So do not worry about that. So, hopefully you like what you see. This is a DS almost themed, stream. That was the Ornstein. We're now going to be, in 22 minutes though, Chogs, going to be talking all about that RT, GSB, and LSB. Before that though, is that everything? You're going to go for the over to you.
For King of the Ring, yeah?
Yeah, King of the Rings.
Right, I'll keep this very quick. Right, King of the Ring, Tournament number 4, Week 6 summary, last week's battle. Last week's battle saw Majora's Mask defeat Shiranui with 1,400 to 1,220 votes, so it's very close.
Best be out.
This result saw Majora's Mask advance to round 2, Shiranui ranking higher than Nightmare but lower than Saitama. The last man standing, Christian Hernandez, advances. Congratulations to Christian on surviving last week's extremely close battle.
You're kidding me? He's still around?
Yeah, because he's rallying for people to change their votes.
Seriously?
Yeah, every opportunity. It's like, guys, rally for me. Make me the first winner or whatever it is. And then like, people go, yeah, I'm going to change my vote. It's dirty. Current battle. Round 1, Battle 6 is
Don't hate the player, hate the game,
Round
yo.
6 is now underway between Meta Ridley and Various Suit. Battle 6 has so far received 1.2k votes. Various Suit is currently beating Meta Ridley with 853 to 355. Wow. This week's battle had 12 possible outcomes. As Various Suit's vote count is now greater than Vice, the outcomes that require votes lower than these are now impossible. The 2 impossible outcomes have not managed to eliminate Christian.
Can we just, like, squash this guy yet?
With 10 remaining possible outcomes this week, the current outcome will see Various Suit advance to round 2, Meta Ridley ranking lower than Vice, Christian being eliminated.
But
right, so conclusion. I'm going to cover this part.
Right.
Yeah. This week's battle saw Various Suit take and hold the lead right from the start, but with only 1.2k votes. This is the lowest vote count of Tournament 4 so far, and has only slightly increased since Wednesday. Could this low vote count be due to there being only one entrant remaining, or this telling of the Metroid fanbase, as it is the first time we have seen a battle consist of statues from a single franchise? This could prove quite troublesome for our last man standing Christian, who requires Meta Ridley to receive a further 449 votes to see his prediction become the current outcome, to see him advance to next week's battle. So will more Metroid fans make an appearance over the next few days, or will it be down to the club to rally behind our last man standing and help Christian survive this week's battle?
no.
If neither do it, could be the game over for King of the Ring Tournament 4. Voting remains open for next week's battle until Wednesday, 5th of June. Best of luck, 3 p.m.
Like, I like 3 p.m, right? I love that boy. I'm really happy that he's the last man standing. But he's got to go now. That's it. No more advancing. He should have gone off last week.
Alright, questions. Here are some questions for you this week. What are your thoughts on this week's battle so far? Are you surprised by the low vote count, especially for Various Suit, one of FRF's best-selling statues? Who do you think will win next week's battle between Pac-Man and Running Mega Man? 68% of the entrants predicted a Mega Man victory in next week's battle against Pac-Man. Do you agree or disagree with this? Most importantly, how do you think the loser of the battle will rank against the current round 1 losers?
So I definitely think I actually expected that Mega Man would have done better than Pac-Man, off the top of my head. And what was the last question?
Last question.
How do you
think the loser of that battle will rank against the current round 1 losers?
Oh yeah, okay. So I think that Pac-Man will be quite near the bottom, I would say, because as you just said, there's a lot of apathy to these votes now because most people are out, perhaps.
Yeah, like
and all these different things. It's really great to see, making it very, very hard to get this done. I love it.
Yeah, so 68% of voting Mega Man.
He has on the 449.
So he has to get less votes. Less votes than Vice.
MJP, fake news with your silver. Papa Davis gonna have a word.
All right, Nana say better start writing up that final conclusion. Make it a good one.
Last time, did we actually then finish off the tournaments? We didn't, did we? I think we just did it because we were at the end. We're just at the end, so we might as well.
Might as well continue, right?
Yeah. Is that right, Nana? Say we just sort of, kind of, just said might as well continue, and then
might
we
as
just
well
stopped
continue
it.
so people can kind of get a good idea.
Of how,
so these characters
but
ranked.
but I think we did that before because we were so close to finishing it. I think we only
close
did it
to
once.
finishing now?
Oh my god, it's like another 8 weeks or something like that.
8
Everyone's
weeks?
already out.
8 weeks.
It's week 6. There's 8 solid weeks, right? Yeah, there's 16 weeks it's supposed to be. And everyone's already out in week 6. I love it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It just ended with tournament 2 and 3 when everyone was eliminated. But I think we did the first one, didn't we? We just had
but we didn't wait. We didn't wait once a week, did we? Or did we? Like,
No, yeah, the last
multiples?
one when everyone was out, we just sort of did all of them at the one time. I think that's sort of
Something
what we
like
did.
that. I can't exactly remember. Too many posts.
No, it's cool. It's cool. I love it. All right, Chokes, we have 60 minutes of a Q&A. I don't think there's probably been any main questions, right?
There's quite a lot of comments.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure about questions, but there's a lot of comments.
Okay.
You got it?
Hold on. Okay. All right, let's do this.
Oh Lord.
McNally, I've got a two-part question to time me over for the next 3 agonizing weeks without an FRF fix. Are we going to see a Metal Gear Solid PO soon? Nope. And if not, can we have extra little Fox tease, please? We love you, honest. Nope. Not yet. Almost. Any plans for a different Spyro character, either OG or reignited? If not, any chance for a character port since Spyro hype is up with the X coming out to us all? I'm pretty sure I did do some of those, but I can do another one and use on the mini CDs. Yeah, and did we not? Is it not here? Is it like not on their table now?
No, it's there. I can see it.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just there. It's just there.
This has got a lovely amount of weight to it. Absolutely gorgeous weight to it, and it's. Oh, fuck. Shit. Don't make that mistake and flick that, but maybe I guess you can hear it.
Yeah.
Don't do that either. But you can hear it's got it's like one of those the triangle, right? You can get it right in the middle of the wings and just go. Dinner time.
Sounds like a cowbell, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, sounds
Mew
like
wears one of those cowbells.
Cowbell.
I can't find them otherwise. So, you know, this is definitely looking great, and we're now at the point where we're going to then start coming and experimenting with the colors. The alignment is not quite right. You see, we're just going to move it across to this side, and it's nice to come with this base here. And this is what I want to see. I want to see this kind of range of these mini metal figurines, $50, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. And just it'll be nice con fodder as well. Can do variants, sort of. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know. It's kind of just like making it. We'll sort of see if there's a demand for it. If so, we'll keep on making these types of things. Let us know what you guys think. What you guys think? I'd like to see some Jinjos. Although pointy wing sharp, they are very sharp. That is. Well, obviously this is just a tissue, right? Like, that's like, well, obviously, I guess it's just because it's a tissue. Maybe this one, Chocks. Yeah, you know, yeah, it's sharp is sharp. I mean, I'm not gonna, you don't want to someone in the face with that,
No.
trust me. Painful. But what it is though, Chocks, is a lovely little size. If you are at work, you have a work desk, it's not so big, you can take this and put it right there.
It
It's
letter,
perfect.
You can use it as a letter opener.
A double letter opener. Put 2 letters at the same
you can
time.
use it. You can use it to open your FRF boxes.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's quite. I like this idea. And use the mini crystal dragons. There you go. Right there you go. Okay. Okay, Denise Keep. Good luck in Vegas. Thank you very much. Alicia Bucci. How much would an SCPVC cost if you were to make it as a resin? As a resin, twice the price. Oh, that small size. Probably 2.5 times, I would probably say. Lesubuchi, again. Are you considering a FRF art book? How are you going to make it year by year license or licensing a statue? Yeah, oh sorry, yeah. I didn't really talk about that in the week in review. We would make them at the end of the year, and it'll be the FRF collection of the year, what we released in terms of pre-orders. That's how we would do it. And if people are going to do this, we'd probably go back to 2016 and start from there, and then catch up. Sort of, it's almost like a kind of documentation. Of course, we could start from when we started the company in 2004, I think it was. It just would be, how do I say,
Can you even remember that far back?
rather empty.
It'd be... Yeah, kind of
Nothing had been at that time. Of course, Chocks, if we started the company in 2005, we'd be first 5 figures, but you know.
Yeah, it'd be a new book. New book,
Absolutely.
new logo.
Absolutely. Aldolfo, wondering if you're still making the prototype for QU. Absolutely. Absolutely. Elaine Kennedy, hey guys, hope you're well. Very well, thank you very much. Sonic and Tails soon, it's June next week. I know, right? Yeah, towards the end of June, hopefully. We need the approval. Hopefully we can. Looks amazing, guys. Really appreciate the time and effort that's gone into the piece, and it's gonna look great. Honestly, the bass though, it's all about that bass. About that bass. No treble.
Alex, do scented statues. What, scratch and sniff?
Maybe.
You'll be like complaining like 30 days later, oh, run out of smell.
Well, you should have complained within the 30-day warranty.
I need a refill.
Jonathan Lopez, would it be possible to do a Brian pre-order for Jin? What's up, James B? The Beats! How you doing? Number 1.
10 minutes left.
Hi. Did you get any first-time meetings licensing for the licensing expo with company you haven't been able to get a meeting with before? Now, getting a meeting, so you have to be quite specific in what you've written there. There is a connotation that I've been trying to get a meeting and now I have got a meeting. Or are you talking about just first time because maybe the licensor's never been there before, or we've had no reason to have meetings with them before? But the answer to that is actually yes to both of those scenarios. Number 2, the only 2 items shown at NYCC 2017 that have never gone up for pre-order are the Onion Bro plush and the Zero statue. If you were a betting man, which would you see up for order first of those 2? That's a great question. I'm definitely completely reworking the Zero. And the Ornstein, it's just a little bit like, well, you know what? I'm going to put that on Buffy's plate. She's done a fantastic job with Buffy and AP. They can work together and do some stuff. The problem was when I was dealing with it, or Chris was dealing with it, it just had some other things to do as well. It just became quite difficult. Brian D. Witherlid, of your 20 meetings, is Atlas on the docket? Is a spark of hope for Persona 5 figures? Great question, but if you go and look at the exhibitor list, you'll know for surezies that they're not even there. Troy Blair, do you have any plans in the future for any young Link statues? Would love to see this from you guys. Blah, 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 blah. Anything Zelda related, we are fixed in what we're doing. However, meeting is coming up again in Vegas, and that's when we have some more conversations. So there's no point asking me now, because there's no difference. There's no difference. We talk about it because what happens is we review what we said we were going to do and see how far we were to doing that. And if we were on track, we can look to do new things. And when it's looking to do new things, then we can have a conversation about what that might be. Craig Rigby. When she says about raw points with details given during the stream, when she says. Alright, okay. Tamara's given us a shout out. Great work, guys. Just keep getting better. Much appreciated. Jordan Brigland. Here we go. I know what he's going to be asking, right? Hello, Chocks and Alex. Just out of curiosity, what's the news? If any of the Spy Reunited... So Spy Reunited resin, I can confirm, has now been approved. So that's great news. So that's going to start the look to, I would say, early July. In fact, let's try and find that. When did we actually launch the OG Spyro? It was in July as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, give or take. I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
So that means that we can look to try and do it at the same time. Don't move.
I'm going. You got,
No,
that's gonna fall. That's gonna fall.
No, head up. If you move your head up.
I don't need to head up. It's level.
No, it's not level. I can see
Is
it's
it not.
No, because
It's not level because my cap's curved.
Exactly, your cap. Not that. It's just that
No,
is
this bit
angled
there.
down. You think it's level, but this part
this
is going
bit's
down.
not.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
more. That's more like it.
That's way too high.
No, yeah, but hold on. When you put this on, it's like moving your hat down.
It's got some
So
weight.
you know that new era like sticker? That's like the new version, mate. Do you have the sticker on it?
No, I'll take it off.
You take it off. Some people leave it on, right?
Some people leave it on, so they just a sticker underneath.
Oh, it's on the
there.
underneath. I thought it's on the top.
No, there's a sticker underneath as well.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, there's a sticker underneath on the top.
Oh,
so
right.
some
Okay.
people- they
Well,
don't-
that's the 3D
They don't
version.
need to
mate.
hold a cap. They just use that.
Absolutely.
Where's my battery running in the hole?
Because you haven't plugged it in. If yes, can we see his community? Can you? Was it? Can we see it? No, you can't see it. You've already seen it. We showed it to you guys on December.
See what?
Like the Spyro Reignited. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We already showed that.
I've seen it. I've seen the latest one, guys.
But so has everybody else.
I haven't seen the whole.
No, that's true. But enough to know what's going on. Chris Harrison, in news of Mario Yoshi. It would be cool if we. Hello, we've made it. But in terms of having the yellow cape, we were not allowed to do that. We did ask. So we made a definitive edition for compensation. To overcompensate for the lack of... We're right, we can't have a yellow cape, so let's make the mountain massive as base we can. Josh Mizrahi, or the following, which do you think will be up for pre-order before the end of this year? Grave Lord Nito, Skull Knight, SD Ornstein. Skull Knight. John Costa. When is the modern Sonic line going to receive the diorama treatment? Do you plan on running an official poll to gauge interest? No, I was just going to go and make one. I think. Yeah, I think I'll just make one. I really want to sort of test that out. I would love a diary based on Sonic Unleashed. Sonic versus the Egg Dragoon, or perhaps the opening scene where Sonic is tearing apart the Egg Fleet. All these things. Yeah, maybe we'll involve the community. Yeah, I mean, sure, why not? Also, does the Generations Dio count towards a modern or classic line since it contains both Sonics? It's a good question, Chocks. What would you say for that?
What? Based off Sonic Unleashed?
No. What would you say for the Generations one, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Generations one is that modern or classic?
Mixture of both.
It's just dioramas, isn't it? Yeah, I know it is mixture of both, but I can't remember. Did Generations and was 25th anniversary? Was that in the diorama line? And part of it.
Yeah.
So it was after the biplane, which was after the
Generations.
right. So therefore, I guess modern ones would also just fit under just general Sonic dioramas. Yeah, they're all connected. Treve Hodsman, can we see the old and new AMI PVC prototype side by side and have some discussions of how it changed and improved? Does it have to be during the stream?
What?
We're just on the documentary. We're not refilming it. Yeah, maybe like when we have them in hand, if we still have them. I don't know. We throw away quite a lot of the original AMIs. Some of them are really awful. Do we have? Do we still have T1s? I throw them all away.
Should keep hold of them.
Well,
like a
clearly,
history
because if
lesson.
somebody's gonna like ask me for a side by side,
It's like those old controllers, you know, like how Sony and Sega makes those controllers. It starts off with sketch drawings and it goes into like early prototypes before it gets to the, you know, the actual, you know, they go through like 30, 40 different variations before they get the actual controller. That'll go nice in the...
Not my best idea.
That will go nice in the coffee table book.
That's true.
Two minutes
Oh
left.
yes, indeed. Andrea Milkdud Herrera. Any intentions of looking into the Borderlands franchise? Is Gearbox one of 20 meetings? That's actually wouldn't be Gearbox's very. Gearbox would never really. Most of these studios would be like 2K, Take Two. Those are the sort of people that would be going. So nothing to report on that. Would have to run a TT to see it because I wouldn't be interested in doing it without running a TT. Also, Earthworm Jim. Got to get those numbers up. When can we expect Cortex to go up for PO? I would say in the next 3 to 4 months, maybe. I would say. MAD, if you were to get the Darksiders license and it was successful, would the PVC be an option or is a contract just for resin? I wouldn't know because there was no contract. But I'm always up for doing PVCs if the resins do well. Do you consider this to be true? Adult nudity and sexual activity on Gruntilda. Totally, she's such a babe. Jefferson Goobler. If you end up asking Nintendo for the Xenoblade license, would Monosoft be the ones involved in the creation process or Nintendo? It would be Nintendo who would then liaise with the other people. That's generally how it is when we did the Metroid. We always go to our contact at Nintendo of America, who then links with the relevant parties.
24 secs.
Any chance Steve Bussadert? Any chance we will see more from Castlevania? Richter Maria from Symphony of the Night would be a great companion piece to Alucard. I agree with you, and I'm gonna see what I can do to make that a reality. Chelsea Harris, any updates on the Crystal Dragon? We'll start painting. It's going to be a while. I don't think they've even started casting yet. All right. That is it. Hold on. The first 10 people get a shout out. I only have time for one. Boom! Shout out to myself.
That never counts.
Course it does.
No, look at the picture.
Course it does.
So is the picture.
I don't have time to look at the picture. We're on 0 already. All right, Chocks. Let's start doing this. All right, guys. It's time. So first of all, apologize if you've had some Q&A questions that I didn't get to. Sorry about that. I don't think we're going to have any time at the end of the stream because we have to go through some more stuff. And so I apologize about that. Next time. Please put them in again. I do apologize. Alright, I'll do the shout-outs. Is the bottom of the thing velvet? Just black, just for you, mate. I've always got to make sure there's a black base in there somewhere, even if it's on the underside. Alrighty, let's do the shoutouts. What are they doing? Keep tagging and double posting will mess up your own calculations. What were they doing? Are they doing more than
tagging.
once?
They were tagging their mates and then then replying, like double posting. And it's like, oh, what? Then they start losing count where they are.
Oh my god, I don't even want to do these.
I had to go back and delete it and do all that counting for you guys.
I didn't even want to. Oh my god. Don't even want to do the shout outs. Derek Baker, shout out to you. Chris Howden, how you doing, mate? Shout out to you. Chelsea Harrison House, what's going on? We've got Marcus Vidbrill, how you doing? Shout out to you. Lisa Wyckoff, what's going on? Hope you're having a good one. Adam Elgerman, I do apologize, I didn't get a chance to do your questions. Uncle Scabs in the house, what's going on, mate? Brandon Evans, how you doing? Are you still looking after that warehouse? Britt Edwards, what's going on? And last but not least, Michael Lai. How are all of those sea manatees? Chocks. So what's going to happen now?
What's going to happen now?
Yes, we're going to be showing you guys the making of documentary. It's about 50 minutes, 54 minutes, something like that, of the Artorias LSB GSB. We hope that this is something that you enjoy. We're going to go through some of the reasons of why we did this, some of our design choices, and all that good stuff. Anything to add before we start rolling that, Chocks?
No, please do enjoy. We'll see you afterwards and then we'll go through all the lovely information like the pricing, the shipping, and then any questions you have, we'll be on the stream as well, watching with you.
Absolutely.
So it'll be quite cool.
Yep. All right. Okay, guys, so we will see you on the other side. What is up, guys? This is Alex of First Figures.
Hey there, everyone. This is CHOCKS.
Who do we have here? Dark Souls, Artorias the Abyss Walker, Grand Scale,
Life size.
Buzz! Hey, what a mouthful that is, but
Yes.
oh my god, this has got to be possibly our biggest piece. I'm talking to that monster next to you. The life-size bust. Right next to him, of course, we have the Grand Scale one right here.
There.
Perfect. Easy.
My new co-presenter here.
I see what you're trying to say there. I wanted to swap it the other way around, but you weren't allowing it. All right, fair enough.
I like them big.
Wow, Jock. So this is the first in an all new range of these Dark Souls busts, and what a couple of monsters to bring out for the first two. The Artorias, the Abyss Walker, you know, we've done this character before quite a few times in different scales and what have you, but never really done a bust before. And to really sort of take all that knowledge from all of that and to apply it to this as well, it was such a great time to work on that. And it, you know, it's definitely something that we took the time to go through all of that. So if this is one of the first time that you've ever been watching one of these documentaries, we go into a little bit of the ideas and the thought processes and the processes that we went into actually going into actually making these pieces. And of course this one is on these pieces here, Chocks.
That's right. So this is the making of Artorias the Abyss Walker busts. So first one in the line. Thanks for joining. If you've been following our previous Dark Souls products, whether it's the resin range or the SD PVC line, do check this one out as well. In our First for Figures official collectors club on Facebook, in there every time we do a launch, we make a thread for you guys to ask us anything about the processes, the making, any questions with regards to this particular product. In there we will answer as many questions as we can. And here we are, guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. Man, I can't even see you.
I can't.
Right?
Yeah, I feel so far apart. It's like there's someone in our way.
Wow. I mean, just really seeing it. I think you got to sort of really see it to really appreciate the huge size of it. Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. We will. Yeah, that's right. We will bring out the other pieces as well. So you guys, if you have a Dark Souls First for Figures piece in your collection,
right,
we'll have them in here, and then you guys can imagine. Well, you don't have to imagine. You can actually see how big these are, or small, just depending on whichever version.
Sure. I mean, yeah. Don't get me wrong. The Grand Scale is a gorgeous size as well. It really depends on which people might want to go, which better suits their spaces, and and what better suits their collection for sure. All right, Troy, should we get right in there then?
That's right, question time. So, all right, thanks guys, thanks for checking us out in the club and leaving your questions for us to answer every single time. So we can't do these documentaries without you guys asking us questions, so much appreciate that. All right, first question, Jessica Castic. What made you decide to do busts, and why choose to do the Artorias first?
Okay, that's a great question. So whilst we're talking, I'm just going to give this bad boy a bit of a spin. All right, got that turning. Now,
should I give this guy a spin?
You can't for now. We'll leave that. I'm a bit concerned for your safety, to be honest with you. Okay. So, literally, the Grand Scale and the life size are the same. So the details that you're seeing that is coming up that you can see here is absolutely still applied to the life size one as well. So, we'll have some turns of this one later on. But for the meantime, just focus your attention on the Grand Scale. It gives you an idea of when we're talking about some of the details and what we're looking at will be reflected in this piece right here. So with Jessica asking what made us decide to do busts, I mean, let's be clear, Chocks. It's not the first time that we've done busts in general. We've made busts before. We did it, of course, with our first one was Amaterasu. We did a live
from the Okami range.
From the Okami range.
Right.
This is certainly our first one from the Dark Souls range. And why did we want to do it? Well, we feel that we've done quite a few sort of certain pieces, and Artorias, we've done the actual statue itself, we did the SD range, and busts, again, it's not, I would like to see us do more busts, to be honest with you, Chocks. I'd like to see a wider range of products that we offer. Statues is one thing, of course, then there, of course, is these busts, then there are these vinyls and all these sort of things. props, for example, would be something I like to get into as well. Would you like to, for example, see a life-size Artorias, sword? Is that something that you would like to see? All these sort of things, it's just mainly kind of offering a bit more variety to our collectors. And it was the kind of natural progression for it to be busts, to be offering busts in addition to what we already offer. So I think it kind of made sense to go with Artorias. We've made that piece before. We have fans that have already bought the previous Artoriases, so they might just have an Artorias collection. Some people might also say, like to see more diversity as well. And that's definitely something that we can look into. We really wanted to champion the series with Artorias simply because we knew that it was our first piece and most people already have an Artorias in their hand. And of course later when we do comparison CHOCKS with the Artorias statue, people are going to be able to better imagine the scale of the piece and sort of see how it would fit amongst an Artorias collection, to be honest with you, CHOCKS.
Right.
So that was really the sort of reasoning behind actually doing busts. Another reason, CHOCKS, is we have the Artorias SD range. Also within that we also have the Solaire. We've done some Solaire SDs, and we're currently working on a few others. One, of course, is the Ornstein SD, which we have been working on in the past, and we'll be bringing that out in the future, of course. And it's actually when I picked up the Ornstein SD sort of prototype, the painting prototype, and I picked it up, and do you know what, CHOCKS? For me, I looked at that head, and of course the head is oversized as that style, insists for that sort of style.
For the SD,
For the SD style, right? So in case you're not familiar, let's have Ting, Enoch, let's get them to overlay some of these images.
Yeah, sure.
When you see the size of the heads in your hand, I was like, you know what? Imagine this was actually the scale of the head itself. And I thought, I could actually sit there and imagine this and then the form, and it's a lovely size. And I said, it's a really, really nice size. What we should do is make it this size. So it was quite interesting, CHOCKS, that the actual thinking and the reasoning of these pieces actually started with the grand scale bust. This size was my original thought, and it really came from working on those SD pieces. But we know that there are some people that only collect life-size pieces as well. So this is actually quite an interesting thing where we're doing both of them at the same time to see how it goes. If there is a demand for both, we'll continue to make both. If there's only demand for the grand scale, then we'll continue to make the grand scale or the life size, whatever it may be. So it's quite interesting for me to be able to really think about how we actually went from this and said, we should also make this, rather than start with this and go, we're going to make this. For me, I think it's going to be quite clear, price point, size-wise, this piece here, the grand scale, will be a little bit more, will be significantly more accessible to the majority of collectors. However, there is a certain thing to say when you say this is a life-size piece that really comes with the whole idea of doing busts. A lot of people think busts, they think life-size. They don't think grand scale. So this is kind of something that we're pioneering here. I just think this really made a lot of sense because it looks so great, and the scale to compared to the life size, yes, of course it's smaller, but it still has that presence, CHOCKS.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you may look a little bit small when you got the big boy beast next to you, of course, but looking at the size of this piece, if you look at it in isolation, it's a lovely size. Look, it's a lovely, lovely size. I would say it's looking around about half the scale, half the size of the Artorias bust. Actually, I'd probably say a little bit less.
A little bit less.
And just to be clear, guys, just in case you don't realize, this piece is actually on a turntable, and the turntable has a thickness here. So whilst you might see this to be over here, actually it will be down a little bit lower because it's on a couple of inches turntable.
Yeah.
Okay, so just bear that in mind, guys, when you sort of look at the piece. So I think that's really sort of covered it, CHOCKS. Why do Artorias? Well, he was definitely the one that we have records of, that we have collector fans, and also because people will be able to compare it in their collection. And SD was the reason why kind of just holding it, thinking this would be a lovely size. And in fact, I even remember doing a post in the club, holding that SD of Ornstein and thinking that that would be a nice thing.
Yeah. And I guess at the time, I believe we were working on the other life-size bus, the Okami range, and it kind of like spawned off from that as well, right?
No, I'm going to be honest with you. No, we made that our, you recall that we made that that Amaterasu bus a long time ago.
Right.
Long time ago. And it didn't really even occur to me, because, the styling is very, very different as well.
Right.
The Okami one, of course, the Amaterasu one is obviously a creature, whereas this is more of a, well, you can still say it's a creature, but you know what I mean. This is more of a humanoid sort of shape, so it didn't sort of directly translate from that. It was just, again, I think it was, as I said, holding that SD or developing the SD range and physically holding it for the first time and thinking, as I said, it would be this would be a nice size bus. Don't know what we're going to call it, but this would be a nice size bus. But then, of course, people collect life-size ones as well.
Obviously, in the collectibles in market statue community, everyone knows what to expect when it comes to a life-size bus or a half-scale bus. But we always trying to find new sectors and for many people to collect bus. So because we're trying to find the right balance, and
Absolutely.
that's why we came down in size and lower the price, or well, not lower the price, but found the perfect price size range for that grand scale.
Right. Why don't you ask the next question, Chocks? Because it's actually kind of what we're talking about now. It's a good
really?
tie-in, yeah.
Why do I do this every single time? Okay. Alessio Bucci, were you expecting these busts to be this big when you first thought about them?
Yeah, I kind of jumped into that a little bit. As I said, first of all, thinking about this size, and that then created that. As you were saying, Chocks, collectors, there are certain things that people will go, right, I am a 1/4 collector. Well, what does that mean? That means someone collects pieces that are in a similar range, in a similar scale of each other, right? So yes, I collect 1/4 scale pieces. Oh, I collect 1/6 scale pieces. I collect life-size busts. No one really says I collect grand scale busts because, well, they don't really exist. And as I was saying before, it's not quite half the size. It's its own thing. It's its own thing. And I think the reason why we have that kind of freedom of it being its own thing is because it's not really established. Life-size bust is established, right? Busts, life-size busts, people collect life-size busts. Whereas this sort of scale, there's no established kind of, oh, right, this will match my other grand scale bust collection. Well, there isn't anything else like that in terms of, so I guess that's probably the reason why we didn't feel like it had to be this particular height, this particular size. It didn't really kind of mean anything to do with that. I would also say that when you are scaling up from the grand scale to the life size, you're not just quite over doubling it, but it's not just the height, it's also the depth, it's also the width. Everything is doubled. Everything goes up in all three directions. So we're going to try and, having thought about that, of course, the price points will be quite different. And as a result, it's going to appeal to different people based on what they, also size-wise, based on what best suits them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Right, next question from Stefan McNally. Looks great. Have you managed to include more finer details into the bust than you did the original Artorias statue?
Right, okay, that's a great question. And what's quite cool is this, Chocks. First of all, before we continue that conversation, I just want to say this is the standard version of these pieces. And inbuilt in every single one of them, Chocks, is, and we only did this because we're thinking so far in the future about this documentary, is the fact that they have an inbuilt manual turntable that will allow for you to just turn it very, very easily by yourself. Now you see, I can do that very nicely with my bust. You can do it very easily with your bust.
Yeah. I'm going to go this way. There you go.
Now this thing is heavy, so with
slowly here, there you go.
So with Chockles being able to just turn it like that, it is really about having that turntable in there. So it kind of belies the actual weight of it. Makes it look a little bit light, but it's not. It's having that turntable in there. Now, Chocks, I want to now talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about the piece itself, and then I want to talk about the bass.
Sure.
And you'll be able to turn around and look what I'm talking about as a result, because I know you.
Okay.
So, the first thing is...
Maybe you talk about the same thing and I'll move at the same
Sure,
time.
sure.
So guys could check out the grand scale and the life size.
Right. So yeah, as I'm pointing to this area, you can be pointing it to on the front.
Yeah. You don't need a magnifying glass.
Absolutely. Well, the first thing is to say, we completely redid this piece from top to tail. Top to tail. Now, you won't know it so much because when you scale it at this size and this size, right, there is a huge, when you blow something up that was originally intended to be a 1/4 scale, you won't really realize that when you blow it up, the textures do not translate well. And they look awful. They look almost like low resolution at a bigger scale. So we completely reworked all of the textures on everything. And that includes the helmet, the textures of the of the actual cloth. But why don't we just talk a little bit about that helmet, Chocks?
Yeah.
So can you see all that texture, and what are you seeing from that?
Yeah, I mean, you can see straight away. You can point on your side as well when I'm talking this side. So right at the top here, all the way down, pretty much at 360, you can see the sculpted lines all in different levels. You know, you can push your hand across, you can see different layers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're all very intricate, very detailed.
Hugely detailed.
Yeah, and you can see the edges. These edges of these patterns, they're raised higher than the actual surface themselves. So the surface, you can see, you can actually feel all the different textures and cracks.
And one of the things that you picked up on, Chocks, is the depth between the two, the layers. It's not just one surface that has a little bit of etching on it. It really has different layers. And that was something that when we actually blew it up, it actually looked a little more shallow. We had to make sure that the depths between the two were better represented at a bigger scale. Also, Chocks, you'll notice on the back over here, there is a...
On the back, okay.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be hard to see. You can probably see better on your one. There's a ring up here. There's a ring that goes where it's almost like a ponytail where you kind of like, and you have a little ponytail band.
Yep.
That, I don't believe, was on the original one. It kind of just directly came out and it didn't look correct. So I think we might have tweaked that. And don't quote me on that 100%. I believe it was something like that. Then, the actual fidelity of the textures themselves, they can look very, very blurry when you scale them up if we didn't take the time to make sure that they were okay. So we absolutely did that. Whilst we keep it on the hair, Chocks, this is actually probably the most obvious thing. The hair itself is it's slightly shortened compared to what it would be as if it was the actual one, because I believe it's slightly longer, I think. But it didn't serve much sense to have anything, because obviously the most default angle is like this, right? So for having it to come over here and disappear was okay for us, right? Especially because, on the back we have this kind of sense of cutting away of the cuts of the actual piece. You can see the way we've oops, almost did that out. The cuts of the actual piece.
Right.
Because you can see at the back of Artorias is not the back of Artorias. It's got this cut, which is very normal for busts. You've got to figure out an interesting way to do those cuts. Well, when you actually consider the actual hair itself, we completely, and I say completely, reworked it from scratch when it comes to the actual, the way that the actual hair comes out. So why don't you talk a little bit about that, Chocks? Can you see about the hair strands themselves?
Yeah, the plume, right? Because we normally refer it to the plume, right?
Right.
Yeah, so
Hair.
the way it comes outwards, or upwards, should we say, so it comes upwards and then curving all the way in. You can see the further you go down, you can see individual strands overlapping around the midsection here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not
this bit here.
The previous one was much more one line goes all the way down and all the way to the tip. It was quite uniform. Whereas this one is much more, a little bit more twisted, a little bit more, and can you see, Chocks, there's also, it's not like each hair is perfect in length all the way down to the bottom. It has some areas that get stopped off. Yeah. So you can probably see it, you can definitely see it much better on yours.
Around the midsection where some of the hair, this one here stops here, another one stops here, another one stops there.
Right.
Yeah. And then another one curves around to the other side and stops around this side.
Split ends.
Yeah. And that includes the
on the inside.
The inside as well, the arch bit. So the one stops there.
Oh, it's yeah. You can see it's throughout it all
there as well. Yeah. And you get these smaller strands up at the top as well here. That kind of.
Yeah, it's usually what happens, Chocks. Your hair gets very brittle after you do a lifetime of hair drying to hair straightening. Or so I'm told. Maybe in my glory days when I had hair.
Yeah, I mean, obviously hair, some are longer than, or shorter than.
Exactly right. Exactly right. So let's now have a little bit more of a focus on the actual cloth itself, Chocks.
Yeah.
The fidelity of the actual cloth texture is far superior on this one. I mean, no, sorry, I just want to reiterate that. The original Arcturus one was absolutely fine and it was perfect for that scale. I'm just saying when we tried to think about blowing it up to this scale and that scale, it was clear it was going to be awful and not work. So we completely redid it. So what you should see is the same as the 1/4 one, except for we had to redo it in a better way that better matched the scale. I'm sure that makes sense. So we reworked that. But also, more importantly, Chocks, we also had to rework the way it got cut. Now, of course, Artorias did not have this cutting here, right? Artorias didn't have this cutting over here, necessarily, the way that we did it, because he had the rest of his arm, he had this, he had that. So we had to cut it in a way that if you kind of look from the side, it has a kind of, this kind of triangle shape. Now, of course, on this side, we have much more of the, cloth, right, which kind of like overhangs on his arm if he had it, you know, the broken arm, and that's what we wanted to get, that kind of almost like a kind of triangle shape to it from the back angle. So the cuts of the actual cloth was something that we had to completely redo and make sure it kind of flowed. There's no right or wrong answer, to be honest with you, Chocks. We actually spent quite a lot of time back and forth on that. Especially when you consider, hey, do we cut off some of his shoulder pads? Do we keep it? What do we do? All of these things we had to really, really consider.
Yeah, we made sure that, you know, it looks really nice, keeping the actual shoulder guard all intact.
Exactly right.
And then having the cloth on the other side matching, rather than cutting it too short, so it looks really weird, or having it really too long.
And that's the thing, Chocks. A lot of it is you can look at it and you go, it doesn't look quite right, or it looks a little bit weird. I'm really happy with the way this came out. Cutting of busts is usually the hardest thing. Usually the hardest thing. So I was really happy with the way that came out. So the details are all there, and in terms of you know, still being there in terms of high resolution. How about, can you see some of the rips that was in, that you can sort of see at the front?
Yeah, the front here.
You can see over there.
Yeah.
What you'll see is actually the armor underneath showing in between the rips of the actual piece. Do you see that, Chocks?
Yeah, the holes in the front. You know,
the holes in the front create you can be able to see that, absolutely.
Yeah, the tears, and there's one more hole on this side as well.
Right. How many are there? There's
2.
Yeah, there's 2 actual sort of holes.
Yeah,
no, there's 3, including the one over here.
You see it here.
There's one here as well.
If you look at this big one there, because right now the studio light is shining through.
Yeah, you can see it picks it up.
You can pick up
picks up the metal of the silver. Yeah, of the
silver underneath.
Right.
Yeah, and then it's just full of layers. I mean, look at the way the neck, because right now the neck is this is the front, right, and his head is slightly tilted to the left, and you can see the cloth moving in the same direction, how it goes round this way, and then obviously the cloak, as you would expect if you were to wear one, has layers, you know, layers upon layers, sticking out from the back.
And that's a natural thing, Chockles. When we did the first one, Artorias, his head is actually a little bit angled downwards.
That's right.
We had to lift this one up, and therefore the folds would change, and we made those tweaks to that to make it a little bit more
natural, right?
Macho, did you say?
Natural,
absolutely.
It is macho.
Macho Artorias. By the way, going back to Jessica's question, why Artorias? FRF colours.
Yes. Okay.
Blue and white and silver. Right, so
Yeah.
You're absolutely right in terms of the natural look was something that we had to really revisit. I mean, there's not a lot of posing here. Of course, there's only so much you can do with the bust, but as you said, reposing it so the head was up, turning it to give it that turn. All that sort of stuff was something that we had to just make sure that it was going to look good at the design stage to make sure that was going to work.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely really dig in the tears, the rips around the edges. This V shape.
Right.
Right. If you look at it from the front, this V shape, all the tears that goes round up to the top of the shoulders on this side, going all the way around 360 along his back.
And you can see it from the back, that V shape goes along over here. I know it's quite dark because we kind of got a dark setup going on today.
It's like that from behind. So
it's got a V shape on the back as well.
There. And then all the tears, all the weathering. Same with around the face as well, around this here, and the other side as well.
Yeah. So, Chocks, we really sort of talked about the actual sculpt work. Why don't we have a little talk about the paint details? Because, that's still there's a lot of details in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, paint-wise, look at everything that's metal, silver, for example, the shoulder guard and the helmet. You can see all the different colors. Obviously this is studio lighting. Right now, there's some purple and blue lights bouncing off this, but you don't get that color on this armor. It's literally just silver and plenty of black wash, different grays, and one thing that would really highlight these paint is these sculpts, these etchings, these cuts. It gives them depth. So when the light bounces off them, it seems like some areas are darker. Like for example, this side is darker than the front side because the studio light is bouncing off that.
Yeah, it comes out really nicely, doesn't it?
This has this, a very shiny metallic sheen to it, but still keeping that weathered look.
Right. So if you actually look at the grooves in between the different rivets, in between the different levels, and inside the different edges, and sort of grooves, it's been absolutely given an extra wash in there just to sort of make it a little bit darker, and the top surface is a little bit lighter. Again, to give it a bit of that 3D depth. More about the weathering look. If you actually think about the weathering that was done on the actual cloth itself, I think you touched a little bit on the front. The way that the opening of the face, or lack of, I should say.
The lack of.
Right, is you can see just around this area over here, and of course going all around the front, all around this area over here, it's got a slightly lighter blue with a little bit of white kind of feeling in there, and that's kind of like when you've ripped it. Yeah. That's that kind of
definitely has that worn out look to it as well. And then between each kind of grooves and over the layers, you have different blues, lighter blues towards the edges.
Absolutely. Now, one thing I want to talk about, Chocks,
and guys, sorry, before that, whilst we're talking painting, there's inside here. I'm sure it's been painted, right? It looks painted.
It should be black.
It should be black, that's right. Yep, it is black.
Stick your head inside and find out, mate.
It's textured inside as well, guys.
Yeah, it's got the texture on the inside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it stops. This one stops here. Where does yours stop? That's where mine stops.
Oh, you mean the...
Oh, there it is! Yeah, you can feel it with the bottom, right?
You can feel it, yeah.
Very subtly put that in there. Alright, so whilst we're talking about the cloth, Chocks, there is a difference between shading for 3D depth and corruption. So what I mean by that is, if you actually look at, certainly along here, there is lots of shading in between the actual grooves and the
creases,
creases, right? So I should say the creases of the actual folds. There is matte shading, and the whole all the cloth is matte.
Yeah.
Right. You don't walk around with shiny clothes unless, generally cloth, certainly this kind of texture, is going to be matte in color. But there's definitely shading that's matte as well, just to give it a bit of depth. However, there are some distinct shiny elements of black in some of the grooves. And Chocks, why would we do that?
To highlight the what's the word I'm trying to think of?
Corruption.
That's right. Yes. Yes. Especially around here. I'm
not sure how it comes up in the camera, but it really captures it nicely here. You can see it, yeah?
You see it?
Along here, it's really obvious.
Yeah.
Maybe because of the bright studio lights, but certainly the point was to have that subtle corruption. If you're a fan of the game, if you understand the lore, it will make a lot of sense. Make a lot of sense for you to understand why it has that kind of black oozy effect on it. Now that's something that we learned from making the actual statue itself, so we could really sort of apply that together. So yeah, that's why we wanted to add the corruption, of course, on the actual piece itself. So talking a little bit more about the actual statue before we actually go into the base part. The actual chest piece of Artorias here, this V from underneath and underneath here, yeah, that absolutely is part of his design.
Yep.
And a lot of it is covered, but it gives that subtle thing. Again, we use that as part of the subtle V shape of how we were going to cut the actual piece. So all of that made sense for us to apply that logic in terms of then applying the V shape underneath and bring it out to the... How to cut the bust was, I think, the most challenging part. Because there's no right or wrong answer. You can just go, I don't like it, or oh, it looks a bit weird, or yes, I like it. It's really difficult to get that perfectly. It's very much a subjective thing. All right, so Chocks, why don't we talk a little bit about the base?
Okay, wow. Just to continue what you were saying earlier on about cutting, the challenges of cutting base, the actual upper part of the body, whether it's a circular shape or a V shape, we had the same challenging thing with this base as well. I remember, it's probably much easier to look from behind here. You can see this is more like a vertical pillar shape, round cylinder.
Right.
Yeah,
that then molds into that V shape.
That's right. I remember we were thinking, how tall should this thing be, this actual pillar? Because having it really high, it would look so obvious from the front. I remember.
It's also not just that; it's also practical considerations. So we knew it was going to also be a life-size one.
It would be a bit too high. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but look at the base. Again, using the same Artorias style, the theme, the pattern, it goes, 360 all the way around. You can see the kind of like stencil etching, around here as well. That goes nicely around this gem-shaped object.
Well, we can actually talk about that, Chocks.
Yeah.
So, that of course is the soul of Artorias. And if you go and check out some of the artwork from the actual Dark Souls games, you'll see it's shaped like that. And it's not a smooth surface. It's not a completely flat thing. It's got some 3D kind of etching.
Yeah, it's definitely 3D sculpted.
Yeah. It's not flat, so it has some of those sort of cuts of a kind of not very laser etched, kind of like a very sort of almost like hand kind of carved gem.
Yeah, it's not smooth. I tell you that it definitely feels there's textures on that.
No, it is smooth. It's just not. It's not. What's the word? Or at least my one is smooth.
No, I get it. It's smooth in a way that it looks like glass, right?
Right.
But it still has that kind of like natural. It feels like someone has hand
cut the shapes.
Hand cut the shape.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, so it's not like machine clean cut, right? Is that what you just said earlier?
It's exactly what I just said.
I was paying too much attention.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so that is definitely, like, I would say on the very highest level. And then you have the etchings that goes around it, gripping onto this gem-like.
Right.
shape object, and then again the stencil etching that's sticking out as well, all 3D in the style of the Artorias Dark Souls theme. And then you can see here glossy black. You can see the corruption that goes around.
That's right, the corruption actually goes onto the base as well.
It goes onto the base, and it actually goes around the front as well, around the edge here. You can see going across as well. Everything's all textured here, it's following the same. It goes all the way down. Not one smooth surface.
So I think it's important to really talk about some of the things that we created rather than following from the actual. I mean, look, Artorias looks like this, right?
Yeah.
This is what his shoulder looks like. We're not changing the design. That's what it looks like, right? And that's another thing. We completely remade that shoulder. Before, the shoulder was really flat. It didn't really work it didn't really work very well for the depth. It was quite flat overall. So we completely reworked that to better sit on the shoulder, etc. Anyways, the point I was trying to say is, the shoulder's the shoulder, the head's the head, the arms, you know, the hair's the hairs, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But the base though is something where we can, you know, it's not much, but we were allowed to use our creative freedom with that. And of course, one of the things we did was, of course, the gem or the soul of Artorias. But the actual designing of going around that sort of pattern work is something that we were able to kind of come up with and try to. And here's the thing, Chocks, keep it within the theme.
Yeah.
Keep it within the theme of this piece. How would that work as part of the theme? That was definitely the reasoning for this. So it's not just. So I love this soul, the soul concept, right? And then adding these just to give a little bit of accent to it. And the great, how do I say it? Is it the great thing? It's kind of cool. The fact is, it's hidden, and it's like you don't get to see it very often.
You don't get to see it at all if you don't have a turntable.
Which is why we included one.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why we included one.
Obviously,
but also,
80-90% of the time you're looking at it from the front, but having, obviously, you want people to appreciate what's behind as well, because there's actually.
Otherwise, what's the point of making it 3D, Chocks? You might as well just.
You want to see the pattern.
Make an art print. Wait a sec. I think So, definitely that is the point. And imagine you've got some friends that come over, they're like Artorias fans, and they're like, oh my god, that's so cool. And you go, but wait, check it out. There's more. Look around the back. They're like, what? They're like, yeah. There's two schools of thoughts. Of course, you were like, oh, I want to see it as well from the front. Well, it didn't make sense just to slap it on the front. It's just nice added detail that is there. For me, I think that's really nice. It's hidden, it's there.
Hidden and subtle as well.
It's almost like the soles of feet. Let's say we're doing a piece and it has a. Let's say we have a piece and it has a. What's the word? A shoed character, right? And the feet go into the ground, and you can't see them, but you take it out of the box and yeah, that's cool. Even the soles are detailed. That's something that I like. I like to be able to keep that. So that was really the thinking of the base itself, and I really love the way that's come out. It's come out really, really nicely. The greys.
I like the step effect as well. Like for this, from the gem attached to the pillar. I mean, it's not just on the back, the edge. Like these sides here,
right,
are kind of like V-shape. There's like layer upon layer, and then these step effect as well. So it's like one circle base and then another one here. Then it gets to the very, very bottom bit, the actual turntable bit, and that is all etched, stenciled all the way around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing I think we
very well balanced base.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing I just think we just want to quickly bring attention to before we move on, Chocks, is that there is a lovely Artorias pattern on the cloth itself, which has been really done well. That it kind of looks like it's really blended into the actual piece. That the actual cloth is real. That it's got that kind of that it's sort of directly on there, and it's looking really worn and faded, and it's not very clean. We use that logic from the previous one, obviously. All right, Chocks. Anything to add before we move on?
No. Cover the base, cover the paints.
Cool.
One more thing. We talked about the pillar, we talked about the bus. We didn't really talk about the underside of that bus. I just want to highlight that, guys. Anything that is underneath for example, underneath the hair, underneath this front beak part inside, underneath the actual shoulder pads, the shoulder pad and the actual underneath side of the cloth. That's fully textured, painted as well. You can, it's really dark here, but underneath this side here, this feels really rough. It's like really textured, and there's corruption underneath it as well. That's cool. You feel it on your side as well?
Yeah.
So it's not just flat.
It's not a smooth one. It's been carved. Yeah.
It's all been textured.
Absolutely.
Textured. All right. Next question from Matt Cicero. Do you have any more busts planned if this one sells well? And if so, would they continue on Souls games or move to others as well?
I mean, I don't think it's a either or thing, Chocks. Of course, if this sells well, we're going to be right in there. I already have a dream to see us both being poked in the eye by Ornstein's shoulder pads, because they don't go down, they go literally horizontal. Yeah, I'm not quite sure just how that would work.
And those gems right across his chest will pop.
Yeah, that's true, right? So, you know, that would be something I would love to do. Whether or not it's in this size or this size, we'd have to sort of see that. Whether or not it's both, either or, who knows? But if you guys support us, of course, we'll be down to make any of those. And in terms of whether they continue in Soul games or any of the others, why not apply it to other places as well? I would love to see what we could do with some other licenses as well. And this is why we wanted sort of Arturus to go and champion this series. And I think it's kind of very similar to how we had him champion the SD line. Arturus SD was the first one.
Right.
We've done others from other licenses as well in the SD format as well. So
that would be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. All right.
Okay. All right, Chocks. So let's say that you want to have this piece. You decided, right, I'm sold. I'm sold on the grand scale. I'm sold on the life size. More power to you if you know.
Or both.
Right, indeed. That would be a new one. One to play, one for display, one for a rainy day, yeah?
Oh my God.
I think even I would draw the line at only two, right? So, I want to know how big is it going to be.
Okay.
Now, typically, we do a Kokan test, and I will do one for you right now. For this piece, I don't think we have enough cans.
Not for this one.
We don't. Right, so this one, don't forget there is this over here, so we'll just consider that. Just move this out of the way. So we're currently at 3. So if I bring this up to this level, it's about here. That's just a bit over 3, maybe 3.5 cans. Now these cans are, as I should say, are 330 ml. They're not the 355?
55, I believe.
55? Of the
one of these days we need to get
It's a running thing, Chocks. Even if we figure it out, we don't say we know it. So yeah, about 3.5 of those 330 ml cans. So that's the kind of idea of the size. This, however, I think, why don't you just give me the rest of the measurements of this bad boy?
That's right,
Okay.
All right.
So what does that actually mean in terms of the height?
All right, you want to grab onto that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so guys can visualize that.
20
so
bucks.
Right, let's talk about the height for the grand scale. We have that around about 15.7 inches.
I concur.
Yeah, so that's 40 centimeters.
Okay.
All right, that's from the bottom of the base, not the actual turntable right now.
Yeah, I've done it.
From the bottom of the base to the tip of the plume. Okay. The width should be 12 inches
now,
wide.
here's a question. Have you done it like this, or have you done it like that?
I've done it from the actual shoulder blade going across, but I see what you mean. I believe I might have done it from like that.
Okay, so just so people know.
Yeah, take it from the widest point.
So what have you gone?
12 inches. So that's 30 centimeters.
Yep.
Yep, and then.
Well, this is the difference that you're going to have. The depth is going to be the difference.
Yeah. So the depth, I have that around about 10 inches.
Now, did you do the depth as like this?
Like from.
As in, did you do it in pose? I mean, if people were going to show it like this, did you do it
Well, it would
from
have been
the back of here?
It would have been like you measured it what it was before, and then continue the measurement from that previous pose.
So it would have been from this angle.
Yeah.
So therefore from here to here, right? Okay. Right. And that
From,
one
from
is
the front, from the front of the hair, the actual helmet.
right.
Yeah.
So from here to here,
That's
it
right,
is
yes.
you do it
10
in
inches.
10 inches.
Well,
Well, you know, this is yeah.
show it like
I would
this.
say it's quite. You do it
Well, it would
from
have been
the
same
slight
here.
differences.
Yeah.
Won't be
Depending-
too
depending on
different.
how-
Although for
depending-
this one, it will make a difference.
Depending on how you pose.
Right.
Yeah. For example, if you've got
So
to
it
pose
would
it
be
at
from
an
this
angle,
angle.
then you've
So
got to
from
consider
here to here, right?
extra
Okay.
spacing.
Right.
From the
Yes.
front, I would give it. The measurements that we've given you, I would give another inch or two
So from
play
here to
area.
here,
That's
it
right.
is-
Extra
you do it
space.
right,
10 inches,
right.
Depending
Well,
on how you
you know,
pose.
this is- yeah.
Show it like
I would
this.
say it's quite. You do
And
it
would have been
the
slightly
slight
different.
differences.
Yeah.
We'll do it
Depending-
through
depending on how-
360. Although for this
depending-
one, it will make a difference.
Depending on how you pose, the weight on that one, for example, if you've got
So
to
it
pose
would
it
be
at an angle, 4.3 kgs.
Here, right?
4.3 kgs space.
Right.
I would give it the measurements that we've given you. Size. I would give another inch or two.
Yeah.
Play area. Right, for the life size one,
Right. That
depending on how you bottom this base, the top of the piece, we have that. Depending on how
Although for this one, it will make a difference.
So that's 74. The weight on that one, for example, you've got to pose it at an angle. 4.29 inches, 74 centimeters. For the width, I would give it the measurements that we've given you. I would give this slide inch or this slide. Right, for the life size one, it's going to be bottom this base, 22 inches and 56 centimeters. We have that. Depending on how
It will make a difference.
weight on that one. Alright, for the depth, 4.39 inches, the helmet to the back of for the width, plume that curves out, that's the farthest point. Like so. This slide, that's going to be the depth. That's 18 inches, which is 47 centimeters. Again, depending on how you angle it, 50 or 360, we have that. Alright, for the depth, right, for the total weight of this, including the manual turntable, this whole thing comes with it. Okay, 18.6 kg.
Okay, I just want to say something about this, Chocks. I want to be quite clear. I'm not 100% sure of this yet.
Okay.
That might change in terms of the weight on that. Right? I know this is one that's quite heavy. I need to clarify. This piece is going to be different from this one in a fundamental thing. This is going to be made with carbon fiber.
Right.
Carbon fiber? Fiberglass. I believe. Fiberglass.
Nice.
Sorry. I was like, what? No. Fiberglass. And therefore, that is actually a little bit lighter.
Right.
So though that weight, I'm going to actually put an asterisk against that. I'm not 100% sure if that is.
Anyway, with all these weights,
Right.
these are kind of what we have in hand right now.
Right.
Obviously, things can change during production.
Right.
So give or take, normally a resin piece, give or take, the weight is not going to be a big of a difference. But like I said, this is going to be made in a fiberglass material.
Right, and as a result, it's kind of something that was a little bit newer for us. I mean, don't get me wrong, the outlook will be exactly the same. I believe it's slightly lighter. I'm not 100% sure.
But stability and strength-wise should not be affected, right? We'll highlight that in the product description as well, saying that the material for this is most likely going to be fiberglass.
Fiberglass,
yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Not
Okay, cool.
Not carbon fiber, guys. Not
carbon fiber.
That'd be cool.
Well, a little like a racing car.
Yeah, on the shoulder pads. All right then. Is that everything we covered? We've done the Coke. We've done the Coke can tests.
Yeah. All right.
All right, guys. Shout out time.
Boom, boom.
All right. So shout outs. When we said we make a post in our First Figures Official Collectors Club on Facebook, in that same thread, randomly I will make a comment saying first 10 people to reply to that comment will get a shout out from Alex. So thank you for leaving your names.
All right, let's get this up and running.
Over to you.
Shout out to Jessica Castig. She got a question and a shout out. Bada bing, bada boom. Our lovely admin, Derek Baker. Him and I, we got beef. What's up, Derek Baker? We're all good, mate. MAD in the house. We got Devon Wenstrom. How you doing, mate? We got Lisa Wyckoff. What's going on? Billy Ogle. Yeah. We got Brandon Evans. Jean-Maxime Marlowe. How you doing? Marco Castellani. And Michael Grubbs. Congrats on your shout out.
Awesome. Keep leaving your names, guys. There's quite a few documentaries in there, and it's all waiting for you guys to leave your names in there.
Absolutely. All right. Now, Chocks.
All right.
This is the standard version that we're looking at.
That's right.
We also have a exclusive version that you can only get on our website, right? firstofigures.com. And why don't we show that, Chocks?
Okay.
So if you rotate this around, now you might, obviously you guys would have seen that we have this Artorias soul, the soul of Artorias here.
Yep.
The thing is, Chocks, you can't really see it in this setup, in this studio lighting, unless you do these in one, if I can actually find it, in 3, 2, 1, boom! Check it out, guys. So look at that. Oh, I love it. Look at that.
Yeah.
Comes out so well against this background. I'm like, why are we doing this black background? And then, oh, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
It looks, even with this really strong studio lighting, it's because there's the shadow that's created by the cut of the
That's
V's.
right, yeah.
And you can really see how that comes out. And it looks great. Really like how that comes out. But we wanted to give a kind of a breathing mode, a kind of moving mode, like it's moving around. So if you push that button one more time, Chocks.
Find again. There you go.
And you just watch it, it will kind of have this moving around feeling like he's alive inside your bust.
Yeah. So.
Absolutely.
Hey guys, this is not. Just want to highlight this has color to it. Has a purpley, you know, like a kind of what you see in the game as well. You know, like the kind of dark purple with the abyss kind of type of purple.
Right.
So it's not bright white or anything. So it's not the studio lights that are giving it off that purple look. It literally has a purple light to it.
Yeah, that's a very good call to mention, yeah. It has that really nice purple look to it. And what's really cool, Chocks, is the way it also catches the rest, because of the actual details of the etchings around.
Yeah.
It's raised and it's in silver color. It kind of captures it a little bit. I mean, I know there's a lot of other lights coming on over here, but in the dark, it really sort of reflects off that really nicely. So it's, you know, Chocks is a really nice little extra added thing for the exclusive version. It's just a little something extra, Chocks. People know it's there, and they can get to it quite easily with the thing. And also, Chocks,
the exclusive does come with a manual turntable as well. Just
yes, it does. And also, this comes with the way that you charge it. It has a removable micro USB that you can.
Removable battery.
Sorry.
Yes,
I should say there's a battery inside.
It's a removable rechargeable battery. So
right.
you can recharge the battery. If the battery dies, you can remove it and replace it with a new one. So it's a removable rechargeable battery.
And then, so the main thing is that you can recharge it at any time. So you don't actually have to physically lift it up to charge it again. You can just use the USB, which we have over here.
Plug it into there.
And it has a light indicator and telling you just how much longer it is to go before it turns on or turns off.
It's still there.
No, it's good. It's good. All right, Chocks. I think with this piece, it's probably time to actually start showing people what it would actually look like in your collection, especially those who actually have a Artorias in their collection. So why don't we bring the actual original Artorias just so we can compare the sizes.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we do that in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Check it out, guys. We have, of course, the Artorias SD right here, and of course the Artorias bust, the life-size version. Right here, Chocks, what have you got over there?
I have the grand scale bust right here for the Artorias.
Yep.
And then I have another Artorias here, which is the OG resin.
Absolutely. And so, you know, it's nice to see them together. All those things that we were talking about and how they scale differently and how when we blew it up and all those sort of changes, you can really kind of see it there. All I know is, Chocks, don't speak to me or my son. I was waiting all documentary for that piece. So this is the Artorias collection. We really hope you like what you see, and I'm just so proud of this to see it. I'm so glad that we got here to make these pieces. They look really, really good together. Hopefully you guys agree, and you'll be bringing 1 or 2 of these busts, both, whatever you want to do, into your Artorias collection, into your Dark Souls collection. This really quite is the centerpiece, for sure. I think that's quite apparent.
Yeah, that'd be great for you know, if you love collecting just Artorias, this is perfect. If you collect Dark Souls as a whole line, do let us know. You know, we've done Solaire, right, in the SD range and the resin range. So we've done Solaire, we've done Ornstein.
What other characters would you like to see?
Mimic. So who knows? It'd be quite interesting seeing a bust for those characters.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Or any other characters.
You know, I was also thinking it might be nice to even do a Sith. You know, we've had experience of making wolves before in this scale bust sort of series. That could be quite nice.
Yeah. And Sif comes in different sizes, right? It comes a little puppy and or a large version.
Puppy with a GSP, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, Chocks, anything to add before you wrap this one up?
No, so I guess, thanks for watching. Do give us a comment, give us a like in the description below. Do join our First Figures Official Collectors Club on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, all that good stuff, yeah.
All right, Chocks, that's another one done. I'm your host, Alex.
I'm Chuckles.
Efroth is love.
Efroth is life.
I will see you in the next one. Peace!
Laters!
Boom! What is up, guys? Did you like what you saw there? We do apologize once again, we don't actually have it with us right here, right now. They are on the way to
turn the volume down? Are we not going crazy?
No, it should be okay.
Yeah?
Should be okay, yeah, it's general. No, I turned up the
You don't
documentary.
wanna blow their ears off.
No, it's all good. It's all
Boom.
good. Yeah, so they are big and small right there. Obviously the LSB being the life-size bust and the GSB for the grand scale bust.
Hopefully you guys know which one's which.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion about that, wasn't there, Chocks? A lot of confusion about that.
That's okay. We've got plenty of information.
Oh, music's still playing. What?
We've got plenty of information coming soon. We've got some more videos and more pictures. We're going to go through each edition with you guys so you know which one to go for.
Just making sure. And I do apologize about the pinging. I realized that I had my desktop audio on and I was like Skyping and WhatsApping and and then I was watching the video playback and then I didn't realize it was actually playing. So that meant you were hearing the double audio. So I apologize about that.
Yeah, the continuous laughing loop.
Isn't that what we generally are? Everyone's playing that laughing loop at us, isn't it?
What? At us?
At us, yeah.
They're not laughing with us? They're laughing
No,
at us?
at, of course, mate. Oh, my heart. My heart. Yeah, Ronald Jacobs, of course. Zelda, Mario, Metroid, all these kind of things. Although Metroid would probably be a helmet for LSB. GSB, I wonder what that one might look like. Anyways, just to say that we're excited when we do a new product launch, but the reality is we have no idea how it's going to be. And if it doesn't do too well, then we understand and we know. If it does well, then great. We can then apply it for the others. I think we had that kind of realization thinking when we did the Artorias SD. And that did really well. Solaires were made. We made the Snake ones as well. Others in development, all that good stuff. So it's almost like Artorias is a pretty safe bet in terms of at least trying to test out a good representation. I would say that. Yeah, I think the Zelda line would be amazing. An amazing GSB, LSB. I think it would look beautiful. Loads of that sort of stuff would be great. Would the Soul Stone on the back be bright enough to give it a good background? That's a good question. It's a good question. I mean, a lot of people put them in a kind of single kind of storage area, in a unit, and usually it's a little bit closer to the back of the wall. And if you turn on the light, I've never really thought about that, how that might look. Do you know what I mean?
Bouncing back off the wall.
Bouncing back off the wall to give it a nice little glow behind. That's actually quite a nice sort of... I really don't know.
Be careful not to put it too close to the wall because of the plume.
Because of the plume, and also don't forget if you ever want to spin a Rooney it as well. Are you worried about it? I'm not really worried about it falling over. I never really felt that. Did you feel, Chocks, when you were turning it over? When you
Don't turn it like a bloody DJ deck.
Rewind!
Yeah. Treat it well, like how you treat your toys and figures and
Absolutely.
statues. Yeah, treat them with care.
Absolutely. Life-size item busts. I mean, that's just the life-size prop, my friend. Which we've done a Majora's Mask and a life-size Aku Mask, I guess. Might want to think about specific lines that may play a large part in the good or bad sales, not necessarily the new type of product. No, I totally agree, Jamie, but, I think it's kind of obvious that, busts, if you compare the popularity of busts versus a full-on statue, of course, most people will go for the full-on statue. That's for surezies. But busts also have their place as well. And And you know, it's just we just want to expand the offerings to see what works. If you guys like it, cool. We hope you do.
Maybe you're a bus collector. You're waiting for some bus from us, from First for Figures, because we've always been doing resins, quarter scales, 1/6 scales. But you know, maybe you're a bus collector and you want to check us out, or maybe you've never been collecting bus at all. You know, I never used to collect bus, but every once in a while something comes along and it just works. One of those bus just works, and it could be a start of your. It's like you've always been collecting resin, and all of a sudden you see a PVC you like, and then now you're collecting a few PVCs.
The Batman bust. Zzz, to the Batcave.
Yeah. The big massive red button.
Yeah, exactly. Is the limited number a new start to a bus line, or would you get the numbers from normal RT? No, it's a new line. It's a completely new line, so all new numbers. First come, first served. You spin me round, right round. Absolutely, yeah. So, you know, that is really... we hope the documentary was great for you guys. Just, I know I do apologize that we don't have it in hand, but I actually really prefer to have the... It's nice to see what people are saying and what's going on and who to ban. I mean, you know, to see what people are saying.
Yeah, I mean, the grand scale bus will be around about here.
Right.
And the life size will be about... No, so it's off the screen, you can't
yeah,
really
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can really sort of see.
Yeah. And once we show the other video as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget the other video. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Right, we have one more video for you guys.
One more video for you guys.
And then we'll go through the pricing, so don't go anywhere.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus. I was about to go into the pricing and let them know how expensive... I mean, yeah, you know, let them know about the pricing and how expensive...
Real deal,
you know,
the real deal.
The real deal. All right, guys, we'll see you in just a bit. 3 minutes. boom! Great. We finally got that teaser out, Chucks. We worked on that for quite a bit of time.
Yes.
I love the bit when, boom, they all come out as the Artorias collection. Did it look at it? Was it a bit jerky for you guys? It looked a little bit jerky on my stream. Just wonder if it was like that for you. Yeah, so CHOCKS. We are now at the point where I guess we need to be talking about some of the details.
Yes. All right, guys. So again, reservations will start right after the stream. Once we finish the stream tonight, we'll work through all the stuff behind the scenes to make sure that the pre-order links go live. If you need more information after the stream, don't worry. We will post all the videos that we've shown, the making of documentary, the hype video on YouTube, on Facebook, everywhere. And make sure to check out the main page, Facebook page, because there will be an FAQ explaining everything about validation, pre-orders, how many versions, pricing, shipping, all that information is there. Don't need to panic because the validation comes later. Okay, so this...
Oh, right, yeah. It's not coming for a while, is it?
Not coming for a while because the reservation starts tonight, and then obviously you'll be off and away on Sunday.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, you'll be in the US for 2 weeks, so the validation will be 21st of June. Don't worry, guys. We'll have the information on the pages, covers. So the validation is not next week. It's 2 weeks after.
Right.
Actually, 3 weeks after. The 21st of June. All right. So reservation period will be quite a while for this one. So make sure to check that out. And also check out that there will be a statue giveaway for the grand scale bus, the exclusive edition, on the main page. So make sure to check that out. You know, put your entries in for a chance to win the grand scale bus. All right.
Yes.
Okay, so again, just want to highlight that special case for the life-size bus. That will be part resin and part fiberglass, just in case you didn't catch that bit in the documentary. So some of the weight, it may affect the weight. You know, because I saw some guys in the comments saying, wow, you know, 18 point something kg, whatever it is. I'm just saying the material will affect that weight, give or take.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so the estimated release date is Q3 2020. As always, give or take a year's time that we normally put on our website. That information is on the website as well. Payment plans, there will be a 12 months flexi payment plans for either busts, grand scale or life size. All right. 10% deposit as always. We never take full payment. We have 5 warehouses. Okay, so we'll go through those warehouses with you when we start talking about the shipping costs.
Aye, aye, aye.
Okay. Pricing.
Alrighty.
Which one do you want to go first? The life size?
Yeah, would you guys want LSB first or GSB first?
I think we should go for the LSB first.
LSB first.
LSB first.
LSB.
Yeah, LSB first. All right, LSB.
Are we sure? Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure.
All right.
All right, you do that. Right. So 10% deposit on a 12-month flexi payment plan. So you minus the 10% deposit, yeah.
Yep. So minus. Oops. What?
How many zeros?
It doesn't fit on the screen.
You're just trying to type boobies on the calculator. Yeah. Oh, there is a dot there. Yeah.
There's a dot there.
Yeah, there's a dot there. But where's that dot? All right.
Okay. Let me just say, guys. This is a new line for us. This is something we really hope does well, that makes us want to continue doing more DS busts, but also more busts in other licenses as well.
Busts.
And we want to...
We bust our balls for this, guys.
Yeah, we want to do what FRF does and offer the best kind of value of money that we can do. And this is not the price it should be, but this is the price that we want it to be at, because we want it to be at. It shouldn't be this price. And it can't always be these prices. These are trying to, as I said, do what we can to make this what it is. As in, trying to be the catalyst to allow us to do more GSBs and LSBs throughout our other lines. So we want to try and do whatever we can to make it as successful as possible. So, with that said, 12-month plan. For a
LSB, life-size bus.
LSB, the bigger one,
Yeah.
assuming you pay $4 for a cup of coffee, you need to forego 12.6 cups of coffee a month for a year to pay for this piece. In monetary terms, that's $50 a month for 12 months. $50 a month for 12 months to get this bad boy in your collection. That is an SRP of $675. It should not be this price.
$675 for the life-size bus. That is the price for the standard edition, which is the one without the lights, and the price is the same for the exclusive. So the standard and exclusive both are set at $674.99. So 10% deposit.
So yeah, so if you work it out,
plan.
$675 minus the $67.50 to put it on the non-refundable deposit, it brings it down to $607.5 divided by 12 equals 50.6 a month. So the total was $675. Yeah, Adian, you didn't consider that there is a non-refundable 10% deposit. Thanks, Alyssa. As I said, we want to do what we can, and we always try to do what we can, Chocks. And this is a new line. This is a new line. It's a new concept. We try the experiment. Is the experiment the pricing? Is it the figure? Is it the license? Is it the style? And if those are the things that I need to look at when we look at these pieces, if I can control one thing, Chocks, and we can control the pricing, right? So let's remove that as a factor. Let's remove the pricing as a factor. I think if you're in the industry and you know it, you're going to know that price is ridiculously, how do I say it, than it should be, right? Lower than it should be.
Kelly, so the life-size bus, whether it's standard or exclusive, is $675. Just
Right.
you said you missed the pricing.
Right. What would be the price moving forwards if we're going to... I can't... Alex, I appreciate what you're saying. I really don't know. Every single piece has its own specifications. It really can't say that. And it really depends on, all the sales. It's really hard to sort of say that. And I appreciate what you're saying. I do. Yeah. But it's really hard for me to say that at this stage.
Let's say the next bus could be...
in 2 years' time, in 3 years' time. And as you know what statue prices... And if you think about it right now, Chocks, Variasuit comes out 3 years later from the pricings that we set 3 years ago. In this day and age is pretty, so for example, if we were to launch Variasuit now, today we were launching it would not be the same price. It would be significantly more. And we went through a lot of pain because the factory started increasing the prices to us and we couldn't do anything about it because it took so long. So it's really hard for me to say this is the price it is today and this is the price it will be next time, because we don't know if and when there will be a next time. So, so it is it's what we call a F for F calculated gamble, and we hope it pays off. We will, as I said, we want to try and give this as much chance as it has. All right, moving on.
All right, now for the grand scale.
Do we want to talk about the pricing first?
The pricing?
Go through each one by pricing or not? Or should we just go for the one? For shipping pricing, do you want to go this is everything you need to know about LSB, and then go into shipping next?
Do that, so rather than mixing them.
Right, exactly, so everyone knows what we're talking about.
Alright, so stay with me, guys. So if you, on the life-size bus, my understanding that this is in 2 boxes.
It is.
For the life-size bus.
It is.
Yes.
Absolutely.
2 boxes.
That's the bottom base and the shoulder. And probably the plume is 1 box.
Base, shoulder
and plume.
Plume and body.
No.
Oh,
base,
1 box. You're talking about
1 box. Okay. Base, shoulder and plume
1 box.
is most likely to be 1 box, and then body.
Torso.
in
Another one.
in another one. And
Okay.
also, I want to be clear about something as well. Depending on what the sales are like, it's probably likely that this piece is going to be made with the kind of EPE foam rather than molded poly foam. Because the sizing of this thing is so huge that what you have is the way it works is like there's costs involved with how big the polyfoam is, the mold for the polyfoam, and it starts going ridiculously expensive at this sort of size. So it's more likely going to be that, you know,
The material of the actual foam. You're talking about foam? You said
yeah,
foam.
you know, like for example, the foam corners, you have that EPE kind of like
yeah,
foamy
it's
things.
kind of stiffer, yeah?
Yeah, something like that. It
More
will be
compact.
a little bit more compact, right? And that's so just to be clear about that.
Okay, so the shipping.
Yeah, Alicia, I don't feel that is a problem about it being top heavy. But of course, when we go through and we make it into the fiberglass, we'll be checking all of that. Whether or not it means something that we need to do is like, I don't know, have magnets on the bottom and the top so that they connect to each other. And you got a bit of magnet to help us all. I don't know, but you know us. We won't just... We'll do our due diligence.
Alright guys, so shipping costs for US, for the life-size bus, 2 boxes, okay, remember.
2 boxes.
One-
And they're ginormous boxes.
$125 US, okay, 125. For EU, you know, that's France, Slovakia, Monaco, Greece, Hungary, Ireland, Italy, etc. That's 125 as well. For Canada, that's 175. For Australia, that's 315. And for other zones, for example, India, Israel, Jordan, Kuwait, that's 330. That's right, yep. Remember guys, these are 2 boxes. We do have 5 warehouses. We have UK, Slovakia, Canada, US, and China. So these will be shipped to your local region through those local warehouses. Okay. Guys, don't worry if you missed out those shipping costs. Make sure to check out the FAQ on the main Facebook page. Right. Ready?
All right, let's do it.
GSB. Right. Again, 10% deposit, 12-month flexi payment plans. What is that?
You got to forego, Chocks, 5 cups of coffee a month. 5 cups of coffee a month. Your skinny latte, your mochaccino. I know what you like with a little bit of extra mint. You gotta give up 5 of those a month, Chocks.
Only 5?
5, mate. 5 is 5. It's gonna have 5 days where you're a little bit caffeine starved.
Maybe just one day, skip 5.
Well, that's true. You do have 5 a day, anyways. So, 5 cups of coffee, assuming you pay $4 a coffee. It is $20 a month. Fucking hell, that's cheap. Excuse me. $20 a month. $20 a month. 20.6 after you pay your NRD, and you can take home the GSB.
That comes to
$275 minus $27.50 for the NRD minus 27.5. Gosh, 275 minus 27.5 equals 247.5 divided by 12 months, $20.60.
Okay guys, so that in total for the GSB standard or exclusive, they are both at the same price at $274.99, $274.99. And my understanding that this should be in one box.
Correct. Yes.
One box.
One box.
Okay, one box. 275. 275, 275, 275. Anyone with a 275 over here? 275, 275. Boom. Sold. $275. All right, shipping cost. Shipping cost for the grand scale bus. United States, 45. EU, 45. Canada, 55. Australia, 95. Other zones such as Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, 115. Egypt, Cyprus, 115. India, 115. Okay?
Did you Australia as well, yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
95.
Look, Canada says he wants to see some Castlevania. I would be right up in there and do an Alucard tomorrow. If I see that in this next week that this does well, I will immediately, when I have my meeting with Konami, go, right, we're going to do an Alucard LSB, GSB combo right here, right now, and get that done straight away. That's what we're talking about. This is why we're trying to put it at this price, Chocks, to get it to this price in order to really kickstart this whole thing.
The bust of everything.
We want to have
Mega Man bus.
I want it all, Chocks. I want it all, Chocks.
Sonic busts.
That would be hard. Keep it. It's a massive. But look, we want to do it all, and we want to. The reality is, we look at this as. I don't know if this is the right way to really consider it, Chocks.
What?
But I love the club so much, and I want the club to have as much enjoyment as possible. And when people are upset, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, well, it's not us to make it as fun. To the pros outweigh the cons, and the pros are always excitement generation and just interesting things happening and visual things to see all the time. Even if you're just window shopping, it's nice to see what comes out. It's been really painful this last 6 months or 5-6 months as we're saying. So it'll be nice to be able to get the flow of having these kind of pieces. Boom, a GSP comes in while because it takes such a long time to do the full scale ones. And the details and all that sort of composition. Well, if you can start coming in with some GSPs and LSPs every now and then as well, that's also great. It's going to allow for us to have that really nice rhythm of constantly having activity all the time. It's something for everybody, because sometimes it's such a long time between we have a Castlevania piece. When's the last time we had a Castlevania piece? My God, it was over a year ago. Well, it was about a year ago we did Alucard. Well, wouldn't it be nice that while we're waiting for Dracula, which was going to be October by X, Y, and Z, boom, an LSP and a GSP, a value card turns up or something like that. That would be nice.
We'll get it done.
Neo D, that's what we're all about, mate. You know us. That's what we're all about. We're trying to do it. He's like,
What's he saying?
Jesus Christ for the LSP at 675.
Jesus Christ, how do we do it?
We do it because we're betting that we're gambling. We're hoping that this will allow us to kickstart the rest of these lines and to do it. And the thing is, we're not about high prices and small quantities. We're about low prices and high quantity. So I've always said, you're not buying FRFs if you're trying to flip. That's not the reason to buy it, because we're never going to be about it's super exclusive. It's not for the elitism or anything like that. It's not about, I'm going to buy it because I think I can sell it later on. Yes, it might be a factor, but it shouldn't be the factor or even anywhere near the top of those. It's about us trying to get a quality piece into the hands of, and I'll tell you what it is actually, it's to get a quality piece into the hands of people who've never bought a single thing before. And if that way, you've got to be targeting new blood all the time. Always make it within reach of new blood. If you come out and, yeah, I'm sure if you could put it at the, this should be higher, it should be tickling 4 figures, right? You know that. You see what's out there. But if we do that, the new blood can never afford it. They'll never take the leap to try and do it. That's not our business strategy. Doesn't make sense. Plenty of other people are doing that. And at that end, at the top end, it's just mayhem. Ludicrous mayhem. So what are we trying to do is always try to make it within the reach of people who make us their first 4 figures. Then afterwards, hey, you stick around, much appreciated. If you don't, well, we understand. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But But don't be salty about it. But you know, that's what it is. That's what it's all about. That's what we do. We know who our crowd is. Of course, we appreciate those that stick with us and do buy more and keep going past their four figures, right? But we also know that we are almost like the starter resin. My first collectible, you know, like. And I'm absolutely okay with that, and that's why we have this kind of FRFisms. That's what we do, and that's the reason why we do these prices. All right, Chocks, we're going to wrap this one up then. I feel a little bit, how do I say, you know, quite passionate about that and the reasoning. There's a lot of transparency between this. I could have just gone, this is the price and it is the... We want you to understand a little bit more about why we do what we do and where we see ourselves and how we're positioned, how we feel. The club is so important to us. It's a window to understanding what people... Just trying to keep your finger on the pulse. And, you know, with Chocks, Chocks always looking along with Cheggy, and, you know, I'm in there as well. And just really, that sort of stuff. If you're disconnected from it, Chocks, you'll be making mistakes all the time. It's just know your market. Intimately, know your market. I feel like it's time to wrap this up before I start puking.
Yeah, so guys, again, FAQ, main blog, which is the Grand Scale Bus exclusive giveaway, the exclusive edition on the main page. Check out those two so you fully understand what's going on during the reservation period, so you will be all prepped and ready for validation in a couple of weeks' time. Okay, don't worry, we'll send out newsletters letting you know when is validation. And then go to the website. That's when we'll have the pre-orders up and ready. Yeah, within half an hour's time, give or take.
That's annoying.
What's annoying?
It's missing the numbers.
Missing the
Yeah,
info.
so you can't see what's going on there.
Any questions, guys?
Okay. All right, guys. Whew. Thanks,
I
Brenda. Appreciate that.
just want to give a shout out to Andrea. Andrea.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Nice one, Andrea.
It's been a long time since you come to see us in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I know.
He always likes to come right in the middle of the hottest part of the year, right in the summer.
Yeah, so you know, he PM'd me quite a while back saying that they did an unboxing for Spyro. I said, yeah, sure. Give me the content when you're ready.
Sweet.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks later, he came back and say, hey, here we are.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's like, Andre, why you keep on changing your names all the time? It's hard to keep track. Hard to keep track. And 1 minute you're Andre Battaglia,
Yeah.
and then now it's like Andre Battaglia. So he did an unboxing on the show called Crossover Universal Nerd. I have no idea what you were talking about in the video. All I see is just you and Spyro, and
that's what we...
Yeah.
He could be saying,
and the cameraman is focusing on the ladies.
He could be saying, Requietem pace first for figa, the terrible. And he would know.
I still wouldn't know, yeah. But thanks for sharing the information there. Hopefully, I believe they were all speaking in Italian. So hopefully the Italian fans will appreciate that. Yeah, do let us know. Do you want to see more unboxings?
Absolutely.
With Andrea. Show your support.
Absolutely. All right then, Josh, you done with your shout-outs?
I am done with
All right
shout-outs.
then. I just want to say, guys, again, we can't do it without you. We appreciate each and every one of you guys coming up and supporting us. We absolutely can't do it without you. We hope you will support us. And those that can't, don't be salty about it. I mean, you know, it is what it is. We're all cool. Yeah. So everything is, look, we'll be here. We'll be as transparent as we can. That goes both ways.
Sorry guys, there'll be no combo. No combo.
Yeah, no combo.
No
'Cause,
combo.
Like, well, anyways, there's no combo.
There's no combo,
Oh,
sorry.
one thing is also, just to be clear, the GSB and the LSB are new numbers, and they're both separate. They're separate. We had some thoughts about whether or not, let's say, Chuckles ordered a GSB and he was number 3, and I ordered an LSB and I was 4. Then somebody else ordered another one and it was an LSB and it was number 5. We're not doing that. They are separate lines. And the reason why is we don't have enough information to be able to guarantee anything. So we're separating the lines. So we believe that a GSB guy will never then all of a sudden buy an LSB on the next one, is what we believe. We believe the GSB guys will buy the GSBs. In the second in the line, the LSBs would want to continue that. So just want to keep that sort of front and center for your reference. So that's what I wanted to say about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And giving away a GSB that's going to be up for there, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's it. Let's wrap this bad boy up.
All right, get this going.
Absolutely. So we won't be back until 121, and that will be the 21st.
22.
22nd? 21st.
122?
122.
Yes.
On the 21st.
On the 21st. But you said you're going to do a Let's Play search on that weekend that you come back,
Holy
right?
smokes. I'm going to be like...
So, yeah. June 21st will be episode 122, which would also be Artorias's validation.
Right. I might possibly doing a stream on the 16th, is what you're saying. Possibly.
That's what you said, yeah.
Possibly.
Depends. Let's see how it goes when you get back on the 14th.
Depends how tight. Well, but that's the thing. I'm not coming back on the 14th. I'm leaving on the 14th, but I'm arriving here on the 15th.
Oh, you
late,
arrive in Hong Kong
as
on
you
the
know,
15th.
because it's coming back from America.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. Party time. Absolutely.
But I'm sure, guys, when Alex is away, he'll keep you updated, right?
Yeah.
You do your diary.
Yeah.
Diary thing.
I can't begin to tell
day.
you guys. There are some things that you're going to see. I did say it earlier. There's some things that you're going to see. Game changers.
Right, guys. So the club it's not going to be quiet because you'll be posting stuff whilst you're over there. You're going to meet up some of the admin guys.
Absolutely.
You're going to meet up some of the club members over there as well. So do let us know what's going on over there.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. I'll still be posting videos and what have you, in terms of production videos and what have you.
And what about you're at E3, right? The guys know you're at E3. What about if they see you at E3? Do they get anything?
Yeah, that's a good point. If you see me at E3, what do I do? Figure it out. Am I giving points?
Pins, wristbands, points?
You know what shit I got to take. I mean, sorry, what?
You take a lot of good shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I want to be slogging around like... I can think about... Like, here's a card.
Dab's here, right? Dabs can palm you off some pins and
I don't think Dubs is going to Vegas.
Bang can palm you off some stuff. I don't know. What kind of stash do you have?
I've got I gave him some 0-hour cards, stickers back in the day. But no.
Oh, come on.
What I mean is...
What?
Just some Gamescom 500 reward points, whatever. Just boom, you find me, boom, 500 reward points.
Look, you have a.
On a back of paper,
you have a think about it when
no
you're.
No one's gonna spot me. Can't, and if they do, they can't catch me. So guys, it's going to be a little bit hectic for the next couple of weeks as things are a little bit back and forth. So
hopefully we'll have some good news. I think we will have some good news to share with you, no matter what. I think so. What's the point of going to these places without any good news? Coming back without any good news?
They said no, and they said no, and they said hell no.
That might be good news for a lot of people. But anyways, do keep an eye out. Yeah, exciting time of the year usually.
Tiring but exciting as well.
Anything you want to add?
No, I'm just thinking about what's
2 weeks. 2 weeks without any stream.
What Buffy's been working on. Then there's obviously what. There's that, and then there's that as well. But the stuff that we couldn't show.
Yeah.
That's Check back in a year.
Make sure you think about us when you and John are away. Yeah.
Absolutely. Am I going to cosplay? I'm going to cosplay as the First Figures owner. That's what I'm going to cosplay as. Alrighty, Chocks. That's it.
That's it.
Another one wrapped up.
Alright,
my man. This has been Friday Q&A with Chocks and 120. The 31st of May 2019 is done. We can't do without you. Much appreciated. We'll be back at it again quite far away. 21st for the 22nd show. 122nd show. Possibly a Let's Play search earlier. All that good stuff. I'm your host, Alex.
I'm Chockles.
FRF is love.
FRF is life.
And have a great day, America. Have a great afternoon, EU. You should be sleeping Asia and Australia, most certainly. Pre-orders, reservations are up for RT right after the next 15. There will be, of course, a Feeding Your Friends in the next 10. Do check that out as well. And now I can finally say, peace!
Laters.